All right, what up, guys? We are live. So this is going to be a juicy stream. We have quite a few things to cover. I almost don't know where to begin. Kyla, i.e. Not So Erudite, and Malik are going to be joining me. So there might be a little confusion with the speed dating. So basically what happened is that we switched the time. So I was initially supposed to do this stream on Thursday and the speed dating thing today, but we could get more girls for Thursday. And also there's a little bit of a time-sensitive issue because we're reacting to recent things. So the longer we wait, the lower the views, blah, blah, blah. So I decided to swap those streams. So if you're looking forward to speed dating, it's going to be on Thursday. We already have several girls confirmed, so it's going to be a good time. Okay. Anyway, so fuck, I don't even know where to begin, honestly, with this. Let me see what the status of Kyla and Erudite is. All right, they'll be here in a minute. So let's just start with the easy one. Let's start with the something that I think already a lot of you guys are alluding to in the chat, which is Greg being banned and what happened in the debate last night. All right, so I'll quickly explain this. We're not going to spend too long on this. So I did a debate against Stefan last night. So Stefan is a cringy black pillar. He was on my channel a few weeks ago. He got caught in multiple lies. So I debated him last night on Greg's channel. The debate took about 3 hours because he kept dodging every single question, going random side tangents, and we didn't really have a moderator. So it went over and over and over again. But, you know, I thought, okay, at the very least, I could get like a good clip out of it. Unfortunately, after I left the stream, he decided to play a porno on the stream because he was the only one left, and he got the whole channel taken down. And initially, when I asked him about it, he denied it, and then he admitted it. And then now he's back to denying it. So I'll just quickly show that before we go ahead and permaban him from the community. Okay, so here's the proof. There's always come with them receipts that all of this happened. So here's the channel going down. Here's my conversation with Stefan. Why won't let me? It won't let me like fucking full screen this, but. So anyway, so I'm asking him here basically, hey, what happened to the channel? You guys can see the community post. He's saying, oh, I don't know. I'm saying that couldn't cause the channel bad. He's like, yeah, I've said worse. He's playing dumb. And then here I got a screenshot from someone saying that he played a porno. Here he tries to dodge it. Then he admits it. No, the silly white ape is pathetic. I don't respect monkeys like Greg. Karma's a bitch. And then he blocks me. And then he kind of owns it in the comments. And then he once again proceeds to deny it on a stream. So let's just quickly listen to this. So this dude's like a chronic liar, I think. Okay. There we go. This is funny.
The debate. So, I mean, Alex should be thanking me for having that or whoever did it. I mean, he should be thanking me for
whoever did it, dude. You literally admitted it 12 hours ago
for not exiting, because if I would have exited earlier, whoever mysteriously like hacked into Greg's channel or whatever happened.
Whoever mysteriously hacked into Greg's channel, dude, there's multiple people who have screen recordings of you doing it. Like, what is this guy talking about?
I would have exited and the stream would have been taken down, or the stream.
Anyway, this is just more of him trying to lodge. So the dude really can't seem to be get his story straight. He's going back from saying that he did it, then he didn't do it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. He's going to be perma-banned from the channel because we can have debates and whatnot. But if you're going to play porn to get people's channels taken down, that I don't really want you in the PWF community. You can just kind of crawl back into your little hole. I will say that I will debate him again on a different channel because obviously I wouldn't trust him on this channel if there's a moderator and they enforce They enforce like actually people having to answer questions, because I spent 3 hours and I didn't even get a clip out of it because because the dude decided to get the whole channel taken down, which is just, I think, kind of pathetic. But anyway, I think we can move on because Alex, he said Primal Studies will host it. Sure, yeah, as long as we can agree that people will be forced to answer questions. Because what happened last night, it's unfortunate that no one gets to see it because there were some really interesting clips, is that I would ask him a question and he would just start going on a tangent that had nothing to do with my question. And I would ask him the question over and over again. And then eventually he would answer, he would say, I forgot what the question was. And that would be like, I would repeat the question. So the dude just literally couldn't follow along and just like wouldn't answer any questions. But yeah. Do you know that Rollo reacted to Erudite's comment from past life? Yep. Well, this is going to be one of the big things we're going to cover in this discussion. Primal said he would moderate. Yeah, we can do that. But again, I need guarantees that he will actually enforce people having to answer questions. And as long as we do that and he doesn't mind risking his channel, then sure, we can do it. Dude, there's a clip. I mean, there's literally comments that show he did it. I mean, he's like in the screenshots. He's basically bragging about it. He's saying, I don't endorse apes like Greg. Karma's a bitch. I mean, he's literally basically admitting, that that he got taken down. Now he's just chanting. But anyway, he's gone. Not important. Let's move on. What's up, Kyla? Can't hear you. Or I wonder if it's on my end. Nope, not on my end.
Can you hear me now? Check.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Perfect.
Soft on your end. Hi. I'm just gonna run off to the bathroom. I'll be back in like 2 seconds, but I'm live on my end, so
Okay.
entertain.
Cool. I'll just say the N word a bunch of times while you're
just
in the
spam
bathroom.
it as quickly as you can.
Okay. Anyway, cool. So we're just wearing that. We're waiting for, I guess, Malik to join. Let me see where she's at. Malik is always like 10, 15 minutes casually late. But yeah, also I think we're going to be implementing some new rules at PWF because this was a little bit of a wake-up call because I really don't want this to happen to my channel. Like, I really just didn't think that like people would sink that low, although I guess I should have known. Oh, there she is. Hello, Malik.
Guess you should have known what?
You should have known that you were going to backstab me, Malik, and play porn on my stream. After hearing about your Discord adventures.
Dude, I'm still so fucking pissed. I've sent Discord 6 emails about it.
Yeah, it's gotta be frustrating. Do you want to tell the story for my chat?
Story is quite simple. I'm a streamer on Twitch. A lot of people know that. A lot of other community members and streamers give me admin in their Discord server, sometimes without my knowledge or consent. One of those streamers had a channel that broke Discord community guidelines within their server, and because I was an admin of that server, my account along with 6 other streamers' accounts got disabled on Discord. Only one of those 6 people so far has got their account back. So,
damn,
I was just one of the unfortunate ones. Hello.
Hey, that's why
yeah,
I
had something similar happen last night. That's what I was sharing before you got here. Is I was on debate that was like 3 hours long. I don't know why. Like sometimes I waste my time engaging with these like black pillars because it's like, nah, you're gonna like actually make any progress. But anyway, I thought I had like at least a few good clips for my clips channel, and then I do decide to play a porno right after I left and get the whole channel taken out.
Yeah, that's fucked. Yeah, I had that happen once. It was actually Hugh.
It's kind of funny. I mean, it's fucked
I
up.
modded
It's kind
Hugh
of
from your channel, Alex, and he was in charge of dragging screened people onto my show, and he dragged someone on, and all they were doing was a gay BBC live stream. So
did Hugh? But Hugh didn't know, right?
He didn't know, but he acted a little but it was good because my finger was quick to end that stream and delete the VOD before it ever got to my stream. Luckily, because that would have been a bye-bye Twitch channel.
Okay, interesting.
Just gotta go to Kick.
Yeah.
And you guys can watch as much porn as your heart would tell you. Is my mic really soft on your guys' side, by the way?
No, it's actually good.
No, both of you are really good.
So I'm going to actually be instituting a new rule for my channel. I think that's probably something you guys already probably do on your own. I don't know why it took me this long. But if I have any reason not to trust you, then you will have to turn your camera on. I will not bring anyone who I have any ounce, any just tiniest possible reason to doubt. I will not bring you on unless you turn your camera on. And it kind of sucks because I understand like people want to be anonymous and shit, but yeah, like just I can't risk someone like pulling that same shit that happened to Greg and playing a porno. I don't want to get my channel taken down, so that's gonna be a new rule.
Greg?
What?
It was Greg's that channel that got.
It was Greg's, yeah.
Wow, it's tragic. You know, YouTube's really missing a legend.
Wait, Greg doesn't have a YouTube channel anymore?
He got banned for the guy played the porno on his channel last night.
Where
So
am I going to go for fitness advice? Oh no!
Oh, what a shame! Greg is gone. I feel so bad for him. So bad.
I mean, I do feel bad. It sucks. Genuinely, it sucks. I just.
I mean, no, I honestly don't feel bad after what he said to me last time I spoke to him. I find it karma, to be honest.
I have the rules where even if I think you're a piece of shit, I still don't want like unfair bad things happening to you.
Oh yeah, I would have never wished it upon him, but now that it happened, I mean.
Alex tried to
Yeah,
hold
fuck,
back whose
bro.
channel it was. Dude, I literally made a community post yesterday just saying what happened on Greg's channel. I've said it multiple times. So what are you talking about? Anyway, yeah. So, I mean, I understand, like, you guys don't like him. I see all the points against Greg. There's things he does. Like, he has abused the copyright strike system, and I've told him about that. So there's definitely things he does that, I think he shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, like, I don't think two wrongs make a right. Yeah, you may hate the dude, and that's fine. But, like, I think that, like, playing a porno on anyone's channel with intent, obviously, to get taken down.
Oh yeah, that's like
it's kind of
it's a shame it happened. But I mean,
but the biggest crime was wasting my time doing a 3-hour debate for debate I can't even show because he got the whole channel taken down. That's the biggest crime right there, and I think you should be I don't know, put in YouTube jail for that. All right, Kyla. So where are you at with the Rollo? Have you started reacting to it? Are we starting from?
I haven't watched any of it. I watched like 30, maybe 40 minutes of it the day he was streaming.
so what are we reacting to?
Two things I want to
probably
react
ask that
to.
prior.
I want to react to the whole Rollo thing, and I actually have some very interesting tweets back and forth that I want to show. And the second thing is I think we should react to the Abba and Preach FreshandFit war that's emerging. I think it's getting really juicy.
Oh my gosh, the red pill's just looking so fucking pathetic right now. Just like whingy girls. It's so cringe. It's just like actual like 2013 Tumblr energy. They're like, oh my gosh, this girl said XD rar at my boyfriend, and I'm like so upset because like she should know that he's mine and only mine. That's unironically the energy going on in the space.
Yeah, I've
Bro,
seen
what
a lot
about
of
Zerka
drama in
calling
that.
out the dates? He wants to fight them. Have you heard about this? I haven't really heard anything about this.
I heard that both of them blocked him on Twitter because he lied, like he clickbaited that he was gonna stream with Zerka, and they blocked him on Twitter.
Oh.
But if you are planning to react to any Zerka videos, please give me a heads up because he is banned on Twitch and I cannot stream him.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, we don't have to do that. I don't really care that much. Okay, so do you want to start off with the? Should we just start at the beginning with the Rollo thing?
I'm fine with that. I'm unknowledgeable of this drama, but
you got to get educated on the YouTube dramas. Yeah, Kyle. So should we start at the very beginning with the Rollo thing? We still can't hear you.
Sorry, muted. Go for it. I think the first hour he doesn't get into it, and it's like a 5-hour stream, so definitely like jump.
Yeah. I was gonna start like as soon as he started talking about it.
Yeah, I would jump like in medias res because I'm sure we don't need to like listen to everything he says.
Yeah. So if you guys are wondering what happened, me and Kyla did a debate against Rollo. He did it from the safe space of his own stream without us being present there, but he did do a debate against us finally. It just we weren't invited to the debate, and yeah, he wanted to do it from his safe space of behind his screen. I watched only a small part of it, so you guys are gonna get genuinely my authentic reaction. All right, let me share my screen. The Manosphere pivot culture war. Okay, I think it's a right starts around like 204 mark. So let's get into it.
Right.
And tell me when you want me to stop.
He just doesn't care. He doesn't think any of this shit's real or that deep. Like David Buss assumes Rollo was just like a squawking small-time internet fry, and like academic world.
Okay. Dear Kyla, whatever the fuck your name is. You do realize that Dr. David Buss knows who I am because he's also done interviews with Mike Sartain in our studio in fucking Las Vegas. Now it was before I was on board before we had Access Vegas. Trust me on this. I'm just gonna like throw this one there. Mike knows Dr. David Buss. I mean, at least the point where he can interview him because they both went to like Texas A&M or Tech. God, he'll kill me for that. Texas University, wherever the fuck he's like, wherever the Longhorns are, right? He most definitely knows my name. Trust me on this.
It seems interesting.
I didn't even know his name. I just said that he like thinks he's like small, like he thinks he's just like a loser.
It seems interesting that this is where he starts with this because we did a long stream about this. This is where he begins, which is that no, he likes me and he knows me and we're BFFs and just trust me, we're BFFs. Seems like kind of that was a big. I don't think he liked it when you said that that David Buss doesn't like him. I think that was a little bit of a trigger for him.
Yeah, I think that's been overall like what's upset him is that I interviewed Buss's student, and Buss's student basically like made fun of him and was like, yeah, he's like pretty cringe. He doesn't he doesn't report any of our findings from the lab accurately. He's just like kind of a joke. And it's also weird that Rollo's bringing up Michael Sartain, because Michael Sartain has updated his worldview with the data. Like, Michael Sartain doesn't believe in dual mating hypothesis. He believes in like the new one, right? Mate switching theory. So it's just, I don't know, it's just super weird.
Can you quickly explain what the difference is between the first and the second, between the dual mating and the mate switching and whatnot?
Yeah, dual mating is Rollo's like claim to fame. That's going to be like alpha fucks beta bucks or whatever. So it's this idea that they have that women will settle down with like a beta, a like stable male, but she'll like fuck like the super hot, edgy bad boy pool boy who's like the alpha, so that she's like passing forward the alpha genes, but she has like the security of the beta. It was a theory that was proposed in like the 80s based on like one study. It's completely failed on all forms of replication, and things like data on like percentage of families that have a biological child that is claimed to be the father's but isn't, like basically cuckery, is super insanely low in the human population. So it's just not real. Whereas mate switching is people are in serial monogamy. So we're in like a long-term relationship, and then when that ends, mate switching for women would be that when that relationship ends, they move on to another relationship, which is just like super boring standard stuff. That one's way more reinforced. That one has all the evidence for it, which Michael Sartain has updated to, and Rollo is refusing to.
Okay, interesting. So I guess it just never comes up when they're having their discussions?
I don't really understand how Sartain like mind flips himself, because he like tries to be updated with the science. I actually really like Sartain.
Yeah, me too.
But then he'll like defend Rollo when like Rollo's worldview necessarily conflicts with his. I don't know. I don't really understand their dynamic, but I don't watch a ton of them, so.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't really know what Sartain is doing. I like him too. I think he's a good dude. I've met him. I've talked to him multiple times. I don't know why he's partnered up with Rollo. It doesn't really make sense, since Sartain has like, first of all, he does something totally different, which is like parties with like 18-year-old bimbos and like a Fresh and Fit type of show, but without like Fresh and Fit kickouts and red pill cringe. Like, what's the, like, Rollo's like a theory junkie / author. Like, I don't understand why he would partner with him, but I guess I made a mistake with my first business partner, so I guess I could be empathetic to that. People make mistakes, I guess, with who they partner with.
Yeah, they seem like homies and bros, and it seems like Michael's just like kind of a good guy, and he's probably just like trying to be loyal to his homie. Is kind of the read. I'm totally mind reading. I could be wrong. I'm making shit up right now, but that's my guess. That's how I like read the relationship. Yeah.
Interesting. This is actually an interesting comment. Sartain says that he will defend Rollo in public even to disagree because they're boys, and then in private, offline, he'll talk to him and say, "Look, man, I don't really agree with this." I don't know how I feel about that, because on one hand, like, I definitely am somewhat similar to that. If like I disagree with one of my friends or even people I'm friendly with, I will try to talk to them about it offline. Like, if there's something you do, Kyla, that I don't like, I wouldn't just try to call you on a stream. I would definitely try to talk to you privately many times first. Same goes for you, Malik, obviously. But at the same time, I don't know if I would go as far as agreeing with something I don't agree with. Like, I think I would just be like, okay, well, I disagree with that, but I wouldn't like try to make it a big deal. I don't know. So what do you think about that?
That makes sense. Most people do that.
Yeah.
Like I've disagreed with people publicly and it's ended connections. I continue to do it because I don't really care. But most people won't call someone out in a public space. If they're close, they'll wait till it's in an offline to be like, yo, your take was kind of off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind when people disagree with me publicly at all. I've never had an issue. I mean, Kyle, you've disagreed with me a whole bunch of times, a few times for you as well, Malik, although our disagreements are more related to who had a better speed date and who actually had a good game. But yeah, I do know a lot of people do get sensitive about that. So yeah, I can't really fault Sartain for that, I guess. I can understand that. All right, let's keep going.
If you go and you read like the very first part of what is it? Men Behaving Badly, where he talks about the Manosphere and the red pill. He actually mentions that stuff. He knows who these people are. Okay, you are not that important.
I can't underscore to people how separate it is from like Normie Land. Like academics don't know.
I can't wait till David Buss comes on my podcast just to rub it in Rollo's face.
I know. I just DM'd Buzz to be like, "Hey, you want to come on my podcast?" Because like, yeah, I'm decently like connected to the lab as well.
Yeah, he already
do grad school. I might actually apply. I'm considering it, which would be super funny.
Yeah, that would be. He agreed already to come on my channel. He's just saying that he wants to finish his last book and then he'll do like podcasts and shit. So it should be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Oh shit! About anything that like anyone in like normal land, like most academics have never heard of like FreshandFit. It's rare that you'll find they'll usually know Tate, and that's about it. Like they're not going to know anything.
Do you think 1.5 was too fast?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No,
I was so.
Okay, let's do one.
Well, she is right about this. She's right about this because I don't know if you guys saw this, but another reason I want to get Gad Saad on my show. Hafiz from the Roommates did an interview with Gad Saad, and his entire once I got into it, I started watching because I was Gad Saad, right? Once I got about 10-20 minutes into the interview, I understood why he had him on there, because he wanted Gad Saad to disown me, to like sort of disqualify me. The entire episode was just geared around the idea that there's all these guys in the Manosphere and they're absconding with your work. They're misappropriating your work and they're using it for their own, to sell their books. And, and their books are like Dr. Seuss and yours is a real academic textbook, right? Being like this kind of faux complementarism, I guess is what it would be. And the whole time, like it got to the point, like I think like 45 minutes, almost an hour into the interview, he was like really kind of prodding and saying, "Oh, there's this one guy, he's wrote some books or something. I don't remember his name."
I hate when people do that. Like, just call the person by his name. Hey, this fucking asshole Rollo, or like this dude fucking. Yeah, I hate when people do that fake thing. Like, oh, I'm not gonna say their name, but I'm gonna attack them anyway. Just say their name. I don't know. I think that's like a weird like strategy that some people utilize on YouTube, where they attack the person but they don't want to say his name. It's the same thing. Just say his name. Show some balls.
Say my name. Right. He's trying to prod him to get him to talk about me. Gad Saad knows who I am. I've actually had exchanges with him on email, but he doesn't like. It's not like I text him, and it's not like Robert Kiyosaki. Right? Like, hey, what's up, Robert? I don't do that with Gad Saad. I would love to. I like Gad Saad quite a bit. In fact, he's the only guy I would ever be really starstruck by. It's
not like we're like like sleeping with each other. We've gone on a date yet, but I think it's like heading in that direction. I mean, I love for something to happen, but he hasn't given me his number yet, so I'm using some PWF texting strategies. Some Rollo texting strategies to get him to respond because I think I see a lot of potential in this relationship, but my wife is a little jealous, so I keep him down low. So shh, guys.
But Hafiz is trying to say, I don't know what his name is, but these guys really take your work and they distort it and fuck it up. I just can't remember. Do you know who I'm talking about? Gad Saad without missing a beat. He's like, "You mean Andrew Tate?" It was the one time I was very thankful that Andrew Tate had upstaged me at that point. I'm like, fuck you, because I knew that's what he was trying to get out of him.
In these topics, they're not interested in any of this stuff because academics live in academic land. Academics don't even know what working collar class people are like. They don't realize that like most people don't have a bachelor's degree. Most people who go to school unironically think that like plus 60% of the population has a bachelor's, which is not true. Most people don't have a bachelor's today.
Okay, where is she getting this? Like, how does she know this shit? Does it just like come to her in a dream? Like, I want to see where's the stats on this? Like, do
you want to respond?
You can just look it up. Here, right. Where do I have this? I just like spend a lot of time reading scientific literature, and I am a bit of a sponge for like facts, and I memorize this stuff because that's like debating is kind of like my thing. It's my job, and so it's good to have like a bunch of stats kind of quick on you. You can just kind of Google this shit. Most people don't have a bachelor's. I mean, lots of people. I mean, we're a very educated country, but most people still don't have a bachelor's. It's not like majority.
Okay, let's keep going.
You guys asked me where's the stats? Cite your sources. For someone who presumes that these people don't know who they're talking about, it's like he literally put the man like by name, put like Manosphere Red Pill in.
I literally just knows 36% of people in America achieve a bachelor's by the time they're 30. It's about 36%. So lots of people, but it's still less than 50%. Whereas again, most academics, if you ask them how many people have achieved a bachelor's, unironically, I know tons of academics would be like, "Oh, it's probably like 60%," and it's like, "No, bro, it's not. Like, it's still a smaller portion of the population that just doesn't get a bachelor's." Yeah, I don't know why he's freaking out over this point.
Who are about? He's gone on with Chris Williamson. Dr. David Buss has gone on with Mike Sartain. He's gone on with has he been on Lex Friedman? I think he's been on Lex Friedman. Like who else has he been on? Of all people, Dr. David Buss would probably be the most plugged into the Manosphere than anyone else, and he probably couldn't name anyone else.
He's gonna like me more than he's gonna like you. La 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 la. Me and Dr. David are gonna be.
I've asked his lab. I've asked people who work for him. He's not plugged into the Manosphere. He literally just thinks it's a joke. He doesn't take it that seriously. And I've had to like communicate to the lab of being like, it would actually be really, really helpful to like breaking down some of like the bad myths in the Manosphere if David Buss would be willing to come onto these things and take like them misquoting a science like, a little bit more seriously. And his students have been like, that's super true. I'll like try to like talk to him and see if we can like try to get him to like take firmer stances about being like, no, like these individuals are wrong. This is not what my science says. But
yeah, I think the biggest, like the only way to really crush Rollo's spirit is to have Dr. David Buss go on show and be like, yeah, I think this guy's an idiot. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't endorse him. That would be like the biggest, like, just like the biggest,
Damn,
like
that's harsh.
the biggest, like, you know, to his, like, I don't know, his mental. I would be actually kind of concerned about him if that happens.
Who would have been? She can't name Dr. Hector Garcia. She doesn't know. Maybe Rob Henderson because he's like attached to Jordan Peterson. Maybe because Rolf Degen doesn't know who that is. Probably has no idea. Wouldn't even think of Steven Pinker, who is not really an evolutionary psychologist per se, but is adjacent. Probably doesn't know who Marty Hazelton is, who is the #1 leading research for the last 30 some odd years on ovulatory shift. She doesn't know those names. And trust me, Marty knows about the red pill. I've been using her as a reference since as far back as like 2007. Trust me, baby, they know. They know a whole lot better than you think they do. But because you think that the red pill is just this new thing that popped up out of my ass or just kind of cropped up in the last 3 years, because you have no fucking background in it, you think that they don't know you from Adam. Sure.
I didn't even know that. Yeah, but I mean, I will agree. Yeah, they're in a whole different world. But there is like a bit of politics that comes into play with like academics. Like I was listening to what's his name, Lex Friedman's podcast. And he had on the dude. One of the dudes who was like involved in that, like a book, you know, that book that gets a lot of shit from the 90s about race realism, right? And he was just
the bell curve.
Yeah, but he was just explaining that the authors don't actually believe that there's anything inherent about like black people's genetics that makes them like it's just possible. This he was just saying that authors don't know, and they have a whole chapter saying that like that's not what we believe. How people take that book out of context. Basically, the point this guy's making is since that whole thing, you cannot do any kind of research on this topic because it'll never get funded, and even if you do get funded,
because dumbasses, in this case, leftist dumbasses who don't understand science, just assumed a bunch of shit and got upset we get.
Such as yourself. Destiny? Who?
Right, like that book is the bane of IQ research, not because it's wrong. Nothing in it's wrong. It's because of what it's done to IQ researchers. We're just like they go underground now, and like it's just crazy. It's craziness, which is why academics don't want.
So, by that logic, why is it too far a stretch to think that perhaps someone of the stature and the status of Dr. David Buss might be changing his song right now at 70 some odd years old from Marty Hazelton's work on ovulatory shift and dual mating strategy, whatever, to switching it over to this mate switching hypothesis, which is much more politically correct and it gels much better with the audience of his Men Behaving Badly book, which is females, which is women who represent at least 85% of psychology majors today. And I'm about to give you some hard stats on that because I do that on this show.
I want to touch this. No, because IQ researchers explicitly say that this is an actual phenomenon that they have to deal with. And David Buss explicitly says that he isn't kowtowing to the leftist narrative. He's updating his view of the world based on the data available because he's a good scientist. He's just doing what good scientists do. IQ researchers aren't disavowing IQ. They're just being a little bit more careful and quiet about it because they get like in trouble in social media because everyone's like fucking mind rotted about IQ. This is like, it's just not the same thing. These are just not analogous.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going.
And they just want to hide in their hole and do their science, and it's cringe. And I think there's a lot of problem with academics. But I understand their fear of social media because universities will kowtow to mass mobs, and they don't want to lose their grant money. So.
Yeah.
Right. So you basically have outlined the premise of why I have a problem with Dr. David Buss switching, like conveniently shifting over from a widely accepted, widely replicated, widely attacked with p hacking, which I'm going to show you here in just a minute as well. If you don't know what p hacking is, it's not. It's not push and pee, okay? Although I probably could be considered that. But when you're talking, like she's basically making my case for me. This is exactly why I said that I don't have like a lot of confidence in this mate switching hypothesis, switching, whatever it is, hypothesis, because it comes at a very convenient time. It comes right on the heels of David Buss's book. And it also comes on the heels of Dr. David Buss failing to launch a dating service based on, or dating, I don't know, coaching, whatever it is, based on his works on evolutionary psychology. Didn't fly. Still not. You can. By the way, I'll give you you want to go? Should we go look at it? It's still up. You can go sign up for the early release, which of course it's been up since 2020, so it's now 3 years old. So you can still keep signing up for the previews, which are never going to come because they've completely given up on it. But do you not think that that's convenient? No, it's only convenient when she says it is. But when I go and I say something about how this is really sounds convenient as far as the tiger changing its stripes. Well, who the fuck are you? You're not an academic. I love how she's going to like disqualify academics and then disqualify me because I'm not an academic.
So what is your level of communication with?
Let's just get super clear. There was a meta-analysis done in 2014 that found that dual mating hypothesis was not replicated. And then in 2018, there was another replication attempted. That replication failed. And then in 2019, there was another replication by Stein et al. And that also failed. And then Younger tried to replicate it again in 2018, 2019, and 2020. Then Stern et al. Tried again in 2020. The idea that it's been replicated a ton is not true. The reason scientists have moved on from the theory is because when you have non-replications for years at a time with multiple different sample populations, it gives very strong indication that the theory is bust, that the theory is not real, and then you go in a different direction. The idea that this study is still getting replicated is patently false. It's not real. Crazy.
David Buss, like you're friends with his student, or what did you say? Yeah, it's interesting because you like follow this stuff much more from like an academic perspective, and I follow him much more from like a practical perspective. So you kind of get like two perspectives on this. But I think you and I largely agree when it comes to dating things. I think we have some small disagreements when it comes to like whether like dating apps are good for guys and stuff like that. I guess that's a pretty decent, actually pretty like big disagreement, I guess, in some ways. But yeah, I think largely we agree on most dating things.
Yeah, just one of his students, and like I really want to like make sure it's utterly like just communicating over Twitter. We've like done a little bit of like interactions.
So one dude who is a graduate student, I know who she's talking about. It's Alex Costello. I'm the guy that actually talked shit about him and tore that down on one of these episodes. I'm the guy that pointed out the fact that this guy is.
He's combining two different. Alex Costello's not a person. It's Alex Date Psych, who is not a student of David Buss. He just reports research on dating and stuff. And William Costello, who are different people. Oh my goodness.
Oh, so he's actually mixing up two people and putting them into one?
Yeah, he's combining two different Twitter people, which I'm friends with both of these people, but they're two different people.
Oh, interesting.
Essentially, what was it? Paying respondents who were quote unquote, self-professed incels to participate in his master's thesis, so that they're basically providing content for him so that he can get his degree. I called that shit out. That's what she's talking about right now. Some guy that she has an exchange with on Twitter is now her expert witness as to the nature and the disposition of Dr. David Buss. Go fuck yourself.
But like, I by no means speak for the lab. I just think it's funny hearing Rollo talk about the lab because I suspect he's got an even more distant relationship with them.
Yeah, you would suspect that, but you would be wrong. You would be very, very wrong about that.
Yeah, I'm really pumped to get him on. I think it's gonna be epic. I'll be like, so there's this dude that basically obsesses about your work. And he talks about you.
When have I obsessed? If anything, people accuse me of obsessing about Dr. Jordan Peterson. I don't say jack shit about Dr. David Buss. In fact, the only time his name.
My man, you literally just spent 15 minutes explaining why he likes you more than he likes me, or that he's a friend of yours. I think if you don't really give a shit about the guy, it seems like kind of like a little excessive to talk that much about why you guys know each other, why he likes your work. I don't know.
Yeah.
Leaves my mouth is because Mike Sartain uses him quite a bit in a very pro-evolutionary psychology manner. See, this is the shit. This is the straw man. Let's continue. Shall we?
Stop. And he has a fucking beanie and he walks around at the age of 50. He's
also
like,
discredits all of your new work.
Look at his facial expression. He does not like that. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so because I wear a beanie, because he thinks that if there's a clear definition of a straw man, I don't know what is. If there's a clear definition of an ad hom,
that wasn't a straw man. That was an ad hom. You're right about that. That was also.
He got there.
It was also a joke. It was a joke, not a straw man. An ad hom, sure.
I don't know what there is. Please show it to me, because that right there is just simply poisoning the well.
Oh, I know.
Rollo chat with his debate words.
Calling Rollo out for wearing a beanie. Everyone knows now. He's been exposed. Poison the well. No one will ever take our debate seriously because we all know he wears a beanie. Get it, Alex. So I wrote down, actually, because I was preparing, so I was debating.
Hold up, Rick. I'm about to hold that thought. I'm about to.
Doing a debate with Torsha, and I thought we were going to debate the Rollo thing. So
Torsha doesn't do debates, and also Torsha is kind of like in La La Land with Pearl these days too.
I spent like 20-30 minutes coming up with a list of all the things I disagree with Rollo on, and then Torsha told me last second that she doesn't want to talk about it at all. So I didn't get a chance to discuss this list. So I figured we can go through this because I think it's interesting. Because a lot of people say like, "Oh, Alex, well, what are your specific disagreements with Rollo? It sounds like you don't like him." No, I have like multiple. I've outlined 15 specific disagreements I have with him. Some of them are personal, some of them are ideological.
But are any of them factual? That's what I'd really like. You know what? You wear a beanie and you're 50 years old. Oh, yeah, well, go fuck yourself. I'm also.
Well, that was a joke.
That's fucking Babes in Toyland, and I'm having a great time there too.
Rollo, you're not doing anything in Babe and Toyland besides like lecturing young 20-year-old girls on Manosphere theories. Okay, you're not banging any of these girls. Okay, I don't understand how that's like. Yeah, I go to a strip club and I watch the girls take their clothes off. Okay, well, you're not actually sleeping with any of these girls. This is not just a speculation of mine. You said this. Like, hey, Michael Sartain said too. Oh, Rollo, you know, even though he has all these options, which I severely doubt, he stays loyal to his wife, which is fine. That's totally fine. But I don't know why he's bragging about the fact that he's going to a party that his business partner is hosting where he's not like actually doing anything with any of the girls. Like that's, I don't know how that's like admirable. But yeah.
I didn't see you there. I didn't see your books anywhere. I didn't see your fucking work anywhere either, Alex. In fact, all I see is your fucking lame ass dating, your speed dating shit. All I see is your red meat bullshit content because you have no idea.
Oh, Rollo watches my speed
Alex.
dates.
Damn, he's a fan.
Rollo watches my speed dates.
Yes.
Rollo, you should come on for a speed date. Show us what Rollo Tomassi game is. Rollo, if you ever want to come on for a speed date, you're more than welcome. I will literally give you 20 minutes to run your beanie old man game on the girl or whatever it is you want to call it, and we can see how that works.
He doesn't do like one set. He's like monogamous though, so I'll give him the grant of saying he probably wouldn't want to just because of like it might not be something.
No, I totally understand. That was also a joke. I understand, and I respect.
I gotta stand it. You know, I gotta.
Yeah. Well, I have no problem with monogamous relationships. I respect people who are like in monogamous relationships. It's more of the fact that he's like bragging about babes in Toyland. Okay, well, like, yeah, but that's not like really anything at all. It's like, yeah, I have a lot of money. Why? Well, I work at a bank and I see a lot of money. It's like, okay, but that doesn't mean you have a lot of money.
A, you have personal issues with me? Fine. That's great. That's not a debate. That's not an opinion. That's just a fucking opinion, man. And the second of all, it's like, oh, your ideology. How many times do I have to tell you that it's not a fucking ideology? You've been at me for fucking what, 4 or 5 years now? I'm going to debate him. You want to debate me for what? So I can listen to you personal attacks and, you know, you're straw manning me about ideology. Really? Please sell me on the idea some more.
So let's just go through these one by one. First, I don't know why he keeps doing this. He keeps saying that he doesn't have an ideology. He obviously has an ideology. He keeps saying, okay, let's just pull up the definition of the word.
Praxeology.
Yeah.
Alex.
This is like a really weird deflection. I'm just going to pull up the technical definition of praxeology. So there's no misabbreviation. Okay, praxeology is the theory of human action based on the notion that humans agree in purposeful behavior, contrary to behavior. It's the theory of human action, right? Okay, fine. We can change the word to praxeology, even though I think ideology is better. But that's still something we can debate about. Just because you have a praxeology, as you like to say, doesn't mean you're right. It's still a theory that you have on human behavior, right? I disagree with your fucking theory on human behavior. So. Yeah, I don't know how that changes anything.
It's just a functionalist ideology. He's just got a functionalist ideology. In that, like, praxeology is just about, like, people do intentional behavior. So you can, like, explain all human behavior by, like, some level of, like, intention and, like, purpose, right? Which is, like, in many ways, like, very connected to, like, functionalism. Like, things are what they do, right? It's the same. Yeah, anyways. I'm sure he'd reject that, but...
Let me quickly address something. Okay, so I see like half the chat, or not half the chat, like 3 people in the chat going a little crazy because one person got put in a timeout for repeatedly saying insults about Malik. Okay, relax. Okay, he's going to be back in 5 minutes. You can go. He's actually probably should be back any minute. So just hang in there. Okay. But yeah, if you are going to repeatedly spam my chat with the same thing, you'll be given a warning. If you keep doing it, then you'll be put in timeout. If you do it again, you'll be banned. If you don't like it, then I don't know what else to tell you. If you want to, have a discussion with Malik or me or anyone, you come on the panel afterwards. But you can make your
I'd actually rather not speak to them. And whoever, I didn't even read the insult, but whoever you are, just know your dick is smaller than a little container of lipstick, and you're irrelevant. Stop derailing the show.
Half the stream is Alex babysitting his unchecked. Well, yeah, we're definitely gonna like. If I feel like you're just like all you're doing is just hurting the quality of the show. Like if you have legitimate disagreements, that's like you're welcome anytime. You can come on. But if all I feel like you're doing is derailing the show and you provide zero value, I'm gonna be much quicker to ban. So you can come on. Look, save your disagreements for the open panel. You come on.
Tell your chat that if they don't start smartening up, I'm gonna send my chat over to bully them and teach them how to be big boys. Okay.
Oh God, no! Please not a chat war. What is his tendency to make false allegations?
Such as?
Rollo has a tendency of complaining, like most red pillars, about how false allegations are so bad, which is true. False allegations suck. But
when have I talked about false allegations? Like false, like rape allegations? I did a full show on that. Well, it was.
When did I talk about it? I did a full show on it. He literally contradicts himself. When did I say that? Well, I did do a full show on it. Okay.
Part of the full show that I did with Myron back in, hell, God, it was like When was that? I want to say it was the beginning of last year. I think it was like in February, March of last year. We did a full, hell, you can go if you want to go and see that show. All you got to do is go to Fresh and Fit and go to the playlist, which me talking with mine. He has a set aside a whole playlist there where we just do nuts and bolts topics, which of course I doubt he's ever seen, and I don't think she's ever seen.
He has made false allegations. So his claim is that we haven't seen some podcasts that he did with Fresh and Fit, which
I've definitely not seen them. That is true.
that is true. I did not see that. You just admitted you complain about false, which is fine. Like no one likes false allegations, right? There's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, false allegations suck." I'll boldly take that stance right now. False allegations suck, right? Or not so boldly because obvious common sense positions. So yeah, I don't know. Against me and Abba Preach saying that we're being paid off by Anthony Johnson, right? That is a.
Oh, so that's it. Okay. Well, let's look at this. Abba Preach, do I know that they got paid off by Anthony Johnson? No, but I do know that they were using old ass information and old ass data on Donovan Sharp. That's the whole fucking thing about that. Do I?
Right, but that's not what you said. You said literally, are these guys being paid off by Anthony Johnson? I severely, I think so, or it's obvious, or something along the lines of that. You guys can watch the initial clip. But yeah, you didn't say that they're using old ass clips. You're saying that they were being paid off by Anthony Johnson.
I know. Did I have a fucking pay stub from Anthony Johnson? No, but I do still have the video of you fucking coming at me and doxing my daughter and doxing my family and everything else.
Just for the record, he's referring to Anthony Johnson here, not me. I've never actually, I think I've never actually doxed anyone's daughter or doxed anyone in my whole life. So I don't even know anything about his daughter. So I'm pretty sure he's talking about Anthony Johnson here, or if not, that would be another pretty blatant false allegation on his part.
That you were doing for the 21 convention back in 2021, 2020. I don't even remember when you were you've been a part of that group for a while now. I don't know if you still are.
I spoke there literally once. You spoke there like 3 or 4 times. Like, get the fuck out of here.
But those videos are still on your fucking channel. So
that's a false allegation for which there's zero proof for. And, so is he? I wonder if he actually is talking about me here. Does it seem like he's talking about me when he says dox his daughter?
I'm assuming so. He's got like this big conspiracy about Anthony Johnson, so maybe he thinks they're like a Johnson sellout. I don't know. I doubt he's talking about me. I don't have anything to do with Anthony Johnson. I mean, in fairness, he thinks a lot of people are connected to Anthony Johnson that they're not. But
yeah, that would be interesting if he's actually saying that. Show me the proof. Don't know anything about your daughter. Never dox your daughter. Show me one tiny shred of evidence that I've ever doxed your daughter. Although, if I'm being generous, I would assume he's talking about Anthony Johnson. If I'm being non-generous, I would assume he's talking about me. It's obviously not true, and he has not always said that.
I'm sorry.
He's like the shadowy figure.
So he's all pissed off because I conflate him, or I've in some way associated or attached him to Anthony Johnson because those videos are still on his show, are still on his channel. You could go get him. Hell, you could go to Anthony's channel and still see him there too. They're everywhere, dude. Like, what the fuck do you think?
Rollo basically controls everything behind the scenes. No, he's just a dude who runs the 21 convention. He's just an event organizer, basically.
Okay, so let me explain something to you, moron.
Explain it to me. Explain it to me.
Drama. How could you do this?
First strike that Fresh and Fit ever got came as a result of I hate to even get into this. Came as a result of Anthony Johnson and DDJ. What had happened was, if you go, in fact, I'm looking at it right now. If you look at the chat and you look at the icons in the chat when they're small. For instance, let's just take Michael Matroke here. Okay, if I post this up here, you can see his avatar right there down in the bottom left. Okay. Well, when I see that in the chat stream over here, it's very small. So when somebody does a super chat and they have a dick pic in their AV, well, when I blow that up from here to here,
when I blow that dick, then I see things.
that dick pic could be that teddy bear right there. See?
He's like, I have saved a dick pic on my computer as evidence. I studied every night. I figured out that due to the veininess of the penis that it has to belong to Anthony Johnson. Okay.
See? Look, okay, they're small, big. You guys can see it. You probably can see it in the chat right now. It's this little teeny tiny icon right there. Well, guess what that is? That is a common hack to get somebody taken down on YouTube. You put a dick pic in, you put titties in it, you put like a cooter in it or something like that. Then what happens is you have a mass reporting. So they go and they read DDJ is a fucking loser. They go and read the super chat because it's a $100 super chat, but the AV is a dick pic. What happens immediately after that is everybody that's in their Reddit or in their sub goes and mass reports it.
That's a lot of money. And hard strike. Banned.
What?
That's like going over the top to get someone banned. Super chatting $100 with a dick pic is crazy.
Oh yeah, if that is true, then that fucking sucks. But yeah, like
super chat with a dick pic. You can't super chat pictures.
I'm not really sure.
Was it a super sticker? Just like a dick flopping around?
I honestly have no idea what he's talking
No,
about.
they're saying like the profile picture on YouTube when they blow it up for the super chat. That's like a lot of effort. I don't know.
I mean, I could see it. Trolls do be trolling. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that is the case. That somebody's like PFP. That wouldn't surprise me. Trolls do be trolling.
even if it's true, then that fucking sucks. But even if it's true, it has like absolutely nothing to do with me, dude. You're partnered with MLD. Like you've had him on your channel, you've done convention speeches with him. That dude has literally just been screenshots exposed that he fucking is proud of taking a bottle and slamming it on a woman's head. Like, are you then guilty of that? Well, no, you're not. You're not guilty of the crimes of the people you associate with. I literally did one speech at 21 convention like 3 years ago. He seems to like think that forever that means that me and Anthony Johnson are tied. Whatever sin Anthony Johnson commits, if he did commit it, I'm like somehow guilty of that. It makes no sense
for that because it's a hard strike on.
Isn't complaining about mass reporting? Like, isn't the issue actually the mass reporting, or am I misunderstanding?
I don't know. It's getting them a strike by using his Reddit to mass report it. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see some evidence of that. I guess I don't really know anything about this, but yeah.
On YouTube. Well, unfortunately for Anthony and DDJ, was it Myron Fresh already have a liaison at YouTube, and they tracked it down. He's done this several times, actually. The second time that he did it was when myself, Aaron Clary, and Donovan Sharp happened to be in Miami for 1 week, and they got a hate speech strike for just out of the blue. And what had happened is it was DDJ and Anthony Johnson. Once again, they tracked YouTube, confirmed this, tracked this down, confirmed that it was originating from this group that was run by DDJ. And
I'm having a hard time imagining that YouTube would tell you who reported you. That seems like something they wouldn't do. Like you report.
I'm not super sure. Yeah, I feel like old YouTube, at least when I've understood YouTube with striking, the best as you can guess. There's no way YouTube is. How did they verify these things, right? Like I think about like the Mr. Girl situation when like all the groypers like mass reported him. It was pretty obvious that it was the groypers because of the timing of it and like some of the DMs that got leaked within the group. But it's not like YouTube is like tracking down and being like, oh yeah, it's there's 50 counts that says Nick Fuentes is my fanboy or like Anthony Johnson is my dream boy. Like I don't know how they would track this down because that's the problem with mass reporting is people make like alt bot accounts.
Yeah, reporting is anonymous on all social media to my knowledge.
I've
never heard of an instance where it reports back to who reported the account.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that. So I don't know. It seems like a lie to me, but yeah, I just cannot imagine that happening.
And Anthony Johnson. Again, that's on my understanding of that whole incident that happened from the nudity strike. They got one nudity strike, and then they got one hate speech strike. The hate speech strike was from like a video that was like months and months old.
Still has nothing to do with you making false allegations about me, but okay.
That, of course, these guys had bookmarked for just such an occasion. Well, why would they want to do that? Well, because it was around the time that Donovan Sharp was doing the CME, the Conference of Masculine Excellence, right? Which is in direct competition with the 21 convention. I don't give two shits about the competition or anything like that, but I will say this is that the reason why they wanted to get the very first time success, like this is something Abba and Preach couldn't even do in August of 2021. They were DJ and Anthony Johnson successfully brought down what was it? A FreshandFit force. Well, it was supposed to be 7.
Yes, and FreshandFit tried to bring down other channels like Abba and Preach, but they just failed. So really not much of a difference there.
7 days. I think it lasted like 4 because they got back up in that time. But it was enough that I had to go home. We didn't get a show. I couldn't do a show because they were blocked. And also, by the way, we couldn't do it on my show either because if I did, then I run the risk of losing my channel as well.
It's super tricky because
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that Rollo and FreshandFit and stuff are getting mass reported, which by the way, like I don't care how much I dislike any of these figures, which I don't really have a strong dislike for FreshandFit. I don't like Rollo. I'm opposed to mass reporting, mass report bad.
Yeah, obviously.
It's like knowing where it comes from, there's so many like active, like highly like leftists, like the leftist space really, really utilizes mass reporting as well. So it's just like, yeah, who knows? I don't know any. I know that they have a long sorted beef. I don't know if Anthony Johnson is like fixated enough on Rollo to organize mass reporting, but possibly some people are fucking toxic. And if that's the case, that's shitty. Done. Yeah.
Yeah. It still has absolutely nothing to do with me, but yeah.
I know that. Yes, I know he does that shit. Yes, I know. Trust me on this one, man. I've been.
So my name is Alex. My last name is Valenchik. I'm not Anthony Johnson. We're different people. We live in different cities. We have different YouTube channels.
At this, I've been dealing with this shit for a very long time. I've been dealing with him stalking my daughter. I've been dealing with this for a fucking long time. It's not some conspiracy theory. It's not, oh, Rollo's just paranoid. No, it's fucking for real, and you know it's fucking for real because you've had.
Show me the proof then.
To work with. Why aren't you working with him now? Why aren't you fucking in the 21 convention email? What did he do to fucking leave a bad taste in your mouth, Alex?
He didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth. I just didn't want to go to the convention that I already spoke at again because it didn't really benefit me in any substantial way. Like sometimes people just do one speech at a convention, they don't go back. He didn't do anything. I have no problem with the guy. I like the dude. Him and Rollo used to work together in 2017, and they fell apart. And
no, it was a psychotic episode. Let me let's see if I can fast forward to where I was before 12:45.
Okay,
so you guys did work together.
5. Okay, that was 12, 14, 20 because this is kind of immaterial to the rest of the shit.
So he just like completely didn't address my whole thing about him making a false claim about me. He just went on a random side tangent about Anthony Johnson. Still didn't address the whole fact that he claimed that I work for the guy and I'm getting paid off by him. No acknowledging that. Just going on a side tangent about why Anthony Johnson sucks.
Okay, here
So blatantly false. But Destiny kind of had a study that showed that, but I would stake any amount of money that study was just way off. And again, it's all self-reported data. He just how far did he just fast forward? I feel like we're skipping a massive.
He said that he was going to jump ahead because he didn't want to like listen to all this Anthony Johnson stuff.
Says that as he talks about Anthony Johnson repeatedly. What?
Which study? The height one?
The height one and the BMI one. So yeah, he was basically saying that like there's really not a substantial difference in your body count numbers if you're like in good shape versus if you're obese or if you're short versus you're tall.
The methodology of that study, I will just say, is pretty solid. Like it's a good study.
But is it self-reported?
doesn't matter, Alex, because I've got dozens of other stuff. And you know, actually, he actually has a point. This, Alex, I agree with you. I actually agree with you, and I'll tell you why I agree with you because I'm about to show you.
Himself.
It's really confusing because he does that in real time. Why? But he skipped. This was like two weeks ago, so I don't remember the exact. But I think he skipped. I went through 14 or 15 points of the things I disagree with him on. I think he skipped forward through all of that and just went to the part where you and I had that quasi debate.
I think it's because he's really fixated on the science stuff. Like I think like Rollo-chan gets a lot of like sense of like kind of authority in the Manosphere space by being like the science guy. So I think he's gonna like kind of focus in around that a lot. That seems to be his beef with me specifically. So that's probably why he's fixating on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine, but he starts off the video by saying, "Oh, well, I wonder what these things are. You're just going to personally insult me." Then he brings up the first one. He completely changes the topic, and then he skips the other 14. So, like, you're not actually reacting to all my criticisms. You're just reacting to the debate that me and Kyla had, which is fine. It has nothing to do with my criticisms. It's a little, I think, pretty obvious dodge right there.
Go. Where'd we go?
Unless he addresses it later. We'll see.
It was Rob Henderson. And where'd it go? Not with that one. Well, first of all, I could show you the studies by Marty Hazelton that shows you that muscularity is sexy. That's number one. And by the way, that was as far back as 2007. But the thing I'm looking for is actually more contemporary here. Oh, there we go. Men possess about 90% greater upper body strength, so that the average man is stronger than more than 99.9% of women. Even controlling for body mass and proportion of lean body mass, men are stronger in part because their muscles have shorter fibers.
This is not what we're debating about. I think me and Kyle agree that men are stronger than women. Like, what is it?
He's trying to make the point. So he's talking about the Frederick paper from 2015 about the BMI stuff that you and I disagreed on. So he's probably going to try to make the argument that women find muscularity and like leanness in men attractive, which is true. And it's not actually a counter to the fact that like, do women prefer in general more muscular? If they have a pic of just like random faces of men and bodies, do they tend to select leaner men versus like obese men? Yes. That doesn't change, however, how that plays out in like the real lived world. This is why like lots of like lab studies don't generalize well, is that women don't have endless amounts of selections of super jacked guys to select from to have sex with and date. They often end up dating tons of people with different body types, which is what the Frederick study is showing.
I see.
Let's see. There's a better one here. I mean, the height studies are just like literally fucking everywhere. So she's absolutely 100% wrong about this. But I do want to at least dig one up for you here, so it doesn't sound like I'm talking out of my ass. I have my bookmarks here that I'm looking at. Hang on. Let's see.
So just to quickly recap, so far, Rollo has complained about Anthony Johnson and agreed with me on some height shit that we talked about way later.
So yeah, he's going to give a bunch of evidence that women have a preference for taller men and for fitter men, which I've never denied and would agree with. That is true. It doesn't actually undermine what my study shows.
I'm disappointed. I thought I only watched like 5 minutes of this. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I thought he was going to go through like the arguments I made point by point. I made 14 disagreements. I thought he was going to go through them, and I was looking forward to kind of like debunking his responses. But he just completely skipped every single one of my disagreements and just went straight to from complaining about Anthony Johnson to I guess breaking down our debate.
I got the oral sex stats if you want those again. Then men who were between the heights of 5'7", okay, and 5'8", About 18% of male heterosexual daters' success would be explained by how their looks, beauty, would be explained by their looks. Beauty, it turns out, is for both sexes. The most important predictor of how many potential partners, well, there's a tongue twister, message and report to one's messages online in dating. The place that finding in the place that.
Do you mind if I just skip ahead a little bit because this part is like super duper boring? Unless you want to watch it.
You fucking hate the science shit. That's the main beef between me and Rollo. Yeah, you can skip it. I mean, I can dismantle what he's gonna say super quickly. He's gonna basically outline potential partners based on swipes and stuff like that. Men who are taller and leaner tend to get more swipes and more matches on dating apps. The issue is potential matches does not actually equal body count. Because it seems to be the case that potential matches doesn't actually map on super well to like dates being achieved. Not totally sure why. He's still not contending with essentially the study, which is mean difference of body count between very short, extremely tall, underweight, obese, etc., which there wasn't tons of super significant findings.
Yeah, I mean, if what he's saying is true, I kind of agree with you. If what he was saying was true, then you see a very strong correlation between a woman's attractiveness and her body count. So a woman who's like a 10 would have a much higher body count than a girl who's like a 4. But you don't really see that. I personally have never observed that. I don't think a woman's attractiveness plays any role with the body count. There's some girls who are obese who have a high body count. Some girls who are like 9s and 10s who are virgins or like have a 1 or 2 body count. So yeah, I don't know where he's getting this data from, but I would kind of on the surface agree with you in terms of like attractiveness doesn't really affect body count.
So it does to a small degree, right? If you actually go into the details of the study, there is a difference, for example, between like severely obese versus like normal body weights for body count, and that like the normal healthy body weights tend to have a slightly higher body count, and it is statistically significant. The issue is that the difference between numbers between like healthy body weight and obese is very, very small. The reason the study is interesting is counter to everyone's expectation, including my own. It's way smaller than I would have expected, even though it is still statistically significant. There's a slight difference. It's just, while it's mathematically significant, the numbers that it plays out to, the averages is like, it's the difference between 12 body count versus 9. So it's not actually that big of a difference.
But I was just thinking about for women. For men, I do definitely still believe that a man's attractiveness will play a noticeable role in his results with women. Like a guy who's like a Giga Chat will, on average, do statistically better than a guy who's like like really unattractive. Although I do think like there are so many exceptions for that rule. Like there are guys who are. I can play this clip later, but I was listening to these chicks on the podcast talking about how like they've met guys who are really good looking who are struggling like crazy to get dates. And then everyone knows a guy who's like not that attractive who does pretty well with the ladies, right? But again, exception obviously doesn't make the rule.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just kind of
in the finding the no duh department as well.
Get to the good
It's a
stuff.
different story, or maybe it's over. Who knows?
I'm really embarrassed about
You
that.
have?
I might have. I don't know. I have to take myself back to my like 2008 self, right? So nowadays, no.
You mean it's not like 1600? Okay, let me push this up because that was actually pretty funny. 2015. Here we go. Push this up. Is this a good one? No, that's not it. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
I feel like the whole point when he was to address that super chat. Did I address it, or is there more that I need to answer?
Sort of. I mean, you're still kind of doubling down and being like, yeah, well, my anecdotal, like, I just am dubious of the study. And I think a lot of people are like, okay, but like,
Oh yeah, this is the hill I will die on.
extraordinary. So they have a sample size of 60,000. You have a personal sample size of 100, right? That's like the issue you're running into now.
Yeah,
And the methodology, because
I
you also have
understand,
selection bias
yeah.
of your sample population as well.
I understand the counter argument. Believe me, I'm empathetic to
Teach
the counter
bias.
argument.
What if you're worse at teaching fat guys because you believe in them less?
But I'm not talking about after they start working with me. I'm talking about before they start. So whenever a client starts working with me, I ask them about their sexual experience, sexual history, i.e. their body count. So we're going off before I even ever started working with them.
That's fair.
Okay, so did you catch that? Okay, they have a sample size of what, 60,000? Okay, and he has a sample size of 100. That's like the issue you're running into.
By the way, the 100 number is it's not like an actual number. It's like probably closer to 1,000. We definitely worked with way more than 100 people. But yeah, just quickly
I can't
pointing that out.
imagine what he's going to say to this.
I'm excited.
So therefore, your wrong destiny study is correct, right? Wouldn't then be not it be correct because of the amount of people? Or would a more concentrated study be more accurate in self-reporting anyways? Would a concentrated study be more accurate than a large scale study? And who are they polling? See, that's the whole thing.
No. This guy just doesn't know. This guy just doesn't know his fundamentals of statistics. He's trying to argue that a small concentrated circle might actually be more accurate in data than a large sample population. But when we're talking about like linear regressions and like boring math stats words. We're talking about this type of shit. Like when we're talking about quantitative studies, numbers matter because numbers catch for things like skewed data, sample bias, right? It generalizes better because the sample size is larger, right? He's basically just trying to be like, yeah, but in this case, wouldn't a small sample size be better? It's like, why?
Malik, are you following along? It seems like you're kind of really
I'm
confused.
following along, but I'm not following along on how any of what he's saying makes sense. He's agreeing with everything both of you are saying and disagreeing with the hypothetical scenario. Like, that's what I've gathered so far.
He's
I
agreeing
don't know
with
if
me.
I'm a little lost, but it sounds like he's just trying to disagree in a way that agrees.
I think there is a lot of that going on. I think there's just like a desire to like disagree with each other, which is kind of like very interesting.
Yeah, it's like nitpicking over the facts that don't matter, and then I don't know.
Rollo,
He just seems really dumb as fuck. This is the first time I've reacted to this guy, and he seems like a moron.
Rollo, we could clear this up by just doing a debate. My initial offer was to do a neutral platform, and I would fly him out. He's not accepting that, so here I'll go one step further. I've said this. I will actually go to your on your podcast if you publicly agree to go on mine within a reasonable time from after. So a 1-for-1, which is what I did with Donovan. I went on his first, and then he went on mine. So I would be okay with that. It's got to be some element of fairness. So again, I think neutral platform, neutral moderator. I pay for your plane tickets since you seem to not like flying yourself out places like 18-year-old girls do. So yeah, that's my counter offer. Where are you at with setting up a debate with him? Is he dodging you too, or is there any
I'm gonna be there in October, so like in Vegas. And so he said he will have me on then. We haven't like organized it, but it's a long ways away. So I guess we'll see in October. He's like talked about it. I've talked about it. So if it doesn't happen in October, that would be hella sus. But as far as I know, the intention is when I'm in Vegas, I'll go on the show.
Okay, gotcha.
Thing is, like, you can go and you can what we've come down to, I think maybe not so much in the red pill as much, but like what we come down to when we have these quote unquote debates is we get lost in the sauce because we get into what I call dueling research papers. And I can only
I actually agree with him on that. Like, that is a statement I agree with.
take certain research papers seriously depending on the actual topic that is being researched in the first place. Because if people want to say, well, we've got this great study of 60,000 some odd people, well, if she's referring to the guy who like Alex Costello, is it Alex Costello or some Costello? I forget.
William Costello. Okay,
Last
just to be clear, if anyone wants a fast blast about which research is valid, it's not about what the topic is. It's exclusively about the methodology of the studies. All that matters is the methodology that goes into the experiment to verify whether data is better or worse. I know nobody cares about this shit, but just to be clear, I don't know what shit he's talking about, but what matters is methodology at the end of the day.
Well, this is a good timestamp of him. He looks extra angry. Okay, let's keep going.
Who is paying people to take the incel test for his doctoral thesis paper or his master's thesis paper. You're already biasing it by paying these guys to be involved in the thing in the first place. So
Not
we're
true
the
at all.
participants.
It's very standard to pay participants. Super standard. I'm in a study right now that it's a longitudinal over 6 years, and the participants in total will make about $500. That's a really, really high study. Most don't make that much, but it is very standard to pay your participants.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who were the criteria? What was the demographics? Was it polled worldwide, or was it polled just here in the United States on college campuses amongst college-educated people who actually are going to college? And if that's so, was there more women than there was men? Because we already know that the demographic shift at major universities is at least 60-40.
Yeah, you're right. The study shit like really bores me.
So there's a lot that goes into that, and I think to like draw a particular specifics about this thing without actually having the thing right there in front of you. You're going to debate shit like this, you better bloody well have the fucking stats right there in front of you. Right? I went to go fucking drag my bookmarks from Rob Henderson just so I could read a few of those things about height and violence and strength and muscularity. But we're gonna just I don't know, it is what it is.
Yeah, this is like the hill I will die on. Like, honestly, like I understand how it sounds. I understand, like, hey, listen, this, according to the burden of evidence, whatever the fuck it's called.
Burden of proof, dipshit. 23:45. There it is.
I'll tell you what, this is my goal. Okay, when I come to Florida, I'm going to clean up all of your guys' like methodologies, so you guys can actually collect like valid data to do some interpretation of.
How are you
Because you can do field work. It's not that hard to get trained in like good scientific field work, which is essentially what you're trying to do. You just have to account for certain things that like FreshandFit, and like you're definitely better than FreshandFit. Sometimes don't account for, but it'd be so interesting.
Keep that in mind. Now, I also got to point out that before showtime, people were telling me that her quote unquote degree in psychology is actually horseshit. So I can neither confirm nor deny that.
What?
But I was made aware.
Do you want to quickly address that?
I don't know what to tell them on the wall. I guess I don't know. I guess he's probably citing the Sunday stuff. Even Sunday doesn't act like my degrees aren't real. Sunday just tries to like pretend like my field is regulated when it's not. That's it.
Yeah. All right, we'll do a little bit more of this video, and then we'll move on to the tweets, and then we'll move on to the Fresh and Fit. I feel like I'm losing like part of the audience, and honestly, I feel like I'm kind of losing myself a little bit too.
There's some guy. Where is it? Some guy was saying that her statistics were bullshit, or her credentials were bullshit. I'm trying to find the guy who asked me about this. Oh, here it is. It's a guy on Twitter saying she does not even have a real. She's not even a real psych.
Seems like a reliable source. Random guy on Twitter.
Colleges she's a fraud. Apparently, a local man here did a deep dive on her schooling and everything. Boy, I would really like to know more about that. But again, this is just hearsay. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. If anybody knows whether she's like legit or not, I would be very interested.
Sunday Rollo team up.
Oh God, they would hate each other though.
If Sunday did it, it would just like reconfirm to me every claim that I've made about like Sunday's like misogyny. It would be so great if he was like, I hate her so much, I'm gonna team up with Rollo to shit drag her some more.
Those two would never work out. President Sunday is way too much of like an SJW, and Rollo is too much like plugged into the red pill shit. They might band together to fight a common enemy, which is you. But
look,
I don't.
Sunday has two values, okay? Wokeism, but ahead of that is fucking dollars, yo.
Does he actually make any money doing what he does?
Yeah, he makes some. His Patreon's like decently solid.
People actually pay that guy money. I mean, he's like, to me, he's like the most insufferable human being ever. Okay. I appreciate the super chat, Marcos. Thank you.
Who have that information?
To pull like data from like the girls that come on FreshandFit, for example, we would just need to make sure that the data is like accounting for.
So how would you like?
Okay, we have the data for the girls that go on FreshandFit, and all you would have to do, Pumpkin, is go ask Big Mo.
You're Pumpkin.
Big Mo's in the chat. Big Mo, if you're in the chat,
we're gonna change Kyla's name to Pumpkin from now on.
Pumpkin without
text me the most recent demographic data, because they have a dude that tracks all of that, like where they're from, what their educational background is, are they on OnlyFans, how old they are they from Florida, are they from Montana, whatever. They have that data.
I'm sure Fresh and Fit is very scientific. I'm sure they have a reaser on staff.
No selection bias, by the way, with that population. None.
His name is Big Mo.
I would. Big Mo's great. It's just like it's just bad data because it's got such a massive bias in it.
I have no idea who Big Mo is. Was he someone that's on the show, or who is he?
Yeah, he's on like the back end. He's like one of their logistics guys that helps run the show. He's super sweet, actually. He's a really nice guy. Yeah, I really like him.
Is there? It's not like they're just kind of guessing at it. You dumb bitch. Go and ask for it. They would probably.
I thought you were Pumpkin. Now you went from Pumpkin to dumb bitch. You really agitated him in 5 seconds.
I come back. Okay, I get Pumpkin.
Pumpkin to dumb bitch. That's a demotion.
We gladly give it to you. But you're not interested in that. And you know what? You go to Florida, and they have you on, or you go on wherever you're going, and you get caught flat-footed. I'm going to laugh my motherfucking ass off.
What's your way of doing this? You just have to approach random people, right? So there's no sample bias, basically?
So if you pull just from your community, all it's really going to tell you is the average self-reported body count of Alex's Playing with Fire community.
Okay. That data is there. And you are 100% wrong about it.
Well, that's still a massive sample bias. I mean, I'll acknowledge that what I see with the PWF community is a sample bias for people who are into pickup, who gravitate, generally fuck with my personality. Obviously, there's a massive sample bias when we look at like people who come on our channels. I mean, that goes without saying. I think a lot of content creators get lost in like the sauce because of sample bias, and they lose the normie touch. Like you see this with a lot of politicians. They don't even really know what like the average normie like resident, gravitates with. Like you see with Ron DeSantis, for example. He's talking about like COVID and like, okay, fine. I think in my opinion, he did a great job on COVID with Florida, but the average person like doesn't give a shit about that anymore. That's like in terms of issues when people are polled, that ranks at the very bottom of the list. So if you spend too much time online dealing with people, you kind of forget what's it like for the average normie. That's why I did that video asking couples on the street how they met, because like you just spend your whole day on the internet, you think everyone's meeting from dating apps. It's not the fact, right? So I think it's very easy as a content creator to kind of get lost in the sauce and forget that there's a massive sample bias with the people you interact with.
I can prove it to you. I have the data for it. Big Mo has the data for it.
I have the data for it. Big Mo has the data for it. I don't have the data for it. This other guy. This guy contradicts himself in like real life.
Stay up on top of it. Yes, you're right, Sorlita. She doesn't care. She don't care about nothing. Ain't nobody got time for that. She don't care about nothing. Right here. I think a lot of these people get exposed to your content and can't handle that you don't offer prescriptions, so they make up their own assumptions, or they make up their own and assume yours. Yeah, of course.
My man, you offer prescriptions all the fucking time. You literally did the reason he was getting a lot of shit for. He had a tweet that said, "Get a vasectomy, don't get married." Like, what? I don't know why people do this cowardly thing of hiding behind, "I don't make prescriptions." Just be like, "Yeah, I give advice. This is my advice. This is what I think." Like, okay, guys, download Tinder. I'll follow my text game, but I don't give prescriptions. I don't actually give you guys advice. This is all just ideas. Like, this is such a cowardly way of like not having, basically not having to defend your points, right? Just like you say, like, oh, well, I'm not actually making any recommendations, except you are when you say get a vasectomy, don't get married, go to the gym, which is actually good advice. Go to the gym. That's good advice. But yeah, so that's just like a weird like mental gymnastics he always does. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think he's just like desperate to LARP as like a science guy, and he's just like, I think he tries to pretend like he's this like knowledgeable sage, like generalist who like knows lots of stuff, and he just like really doesn't. He just hasn't kept up with the times. He got popular in an area that was like small. It was a small pond, and now the pond has grown, and he didn't keep up, and he like turns out to like not be as like smart or like interesting as people once thought. I don't know. Like,
Well, he's like ultra boring. Like some, like at least like Myron, I would say, even though I disagree with him, he's like entertaining, or he's like at least like
he's quick
he's
too.
not-
He's not dumb. Myron is not dumb.
Yeah, he's not dumb. He's a smart dude. I mean, he went to Northeastern. I went to BU. They're like competitive schools, so it's basically the same level. We're a little bit better. We're ranked a little bit better, but yeah, in order to get to Northeastern, you have to be smart. But he's like a lot more, at least interesting. Like Rollo's more similar to Fresh. It's just like as soon as they talk, people just tune out. It's like you're not no one's gonna sit there and listen for Fresh for 2 hours. Okay, you're just gonna be stumbling over his words. Get more people like On Point Fresh on. That's a good content to balance out the streams. Yeah, I mean, I think we had a really good discussion. I like that guy, even though he doesn't call himself a black pillar, although I think he primarily agrees with black pill ideology. Look, I have no problem with people who disagree with my ideology, and we had, I think, a really, really good discussion. The issue becomes is when you like fucking dick flash the stream or do shady shit like that. But yeah, all right, let's keep going.
Of course they do. You know why that is, J-Pots? Is because you can't give people data without telling them how to feel about that data. You can't give them just straight up like numbers and dollars and cents. You can't just give them a research study without telling them how they ought to feel about it and how they ought to change their lives about it and how it's going to improve their lives and how it's self-fucking-help. That's what Twitter is all about right now. That's the only reason anybody knows this bitch's name. Dead serious.
Back to the bitch. She went from pumpkin to bitch.
Because she wants to be the one to tell you how to feel about it. That's why. Oh, Rollo won't give you a prescription and he won't tell you how to feel about it? I will. That girl that was coming out.
Rollo, you give prescriptions all the time. You tell people how to feel about shit all the time. I don't know why he keeps doing that. If we ever do a debate, which I don't think is likely, I'll definitely keep pressing him on that.
At Justin Waller on whatever podcast, same thing. You should feel bad. You should feel bad about what you're doing. You should feel bad about this. Because in my world, you're a bad man. You cannot give data. You cannot give just dollars and cents. You can't just give raw data to people without telling them how to feel about it because we live in the age of emotion. And that is pretty much what I...
So that's literally the most emotional guy on YouTube.
Also, a fucking course. Most people don't know how to read statistics, right? If I just tell people a number, that's like, if I'm just like, oh yeah, like the significance value was this. Nobody has any, I could be like, oh yeah, the p-value was 0.75. And nobody would have a fucking clue what that means until I give you the narrative of being like, just so you know, p-value of 0.75 is literally dog shit. That means it was completely non-significant and the findings were no. Doesn't matter what we found.
Kyler, we're just a bunch of pickup guys. None of us know what a p-value is. When you say p-value, we think like, okay, how much did the girl urinate on the guy? That's what most people are thinking for p-value.
Say your dick size is 5 inches. It doesn't mean anything to me until I understand that the average length of a dick is like 5 inches, okay? If you say your dick is 13 inches, it's meaningless unless I have the context of understanding what the numbers mean. How about that? Does that work better?
That works a lot better.
Okay.
I've been talking about since day fucking one. Emotion versus empiricism. I sound like an asshole. I sound like the devil himself because I speak the language of empiricism.
My man, you are one of the most emotional people in the red pill community. What are you talking about? This is like when Myron says, facts over feelings, bro. We men, we use logic. These girls use emotion. While he's like flipping out, like can't control his feelings. You're gonna fuck out, Anthony Johnson. It's like, I don't know, like just admit it. You're like every human being is a combination of logic and emotion. Some people are a lot more logical than emotional, right? I would say that I definitely tend to be on the more logical side, but obviously I to some extent, use emotion, right? When I talk or I communicate, right? That's what makes you a human being, right? If you have no emotion, you're just purely empirical, then you're a fucking robot, you're a book, right? You don't actually exist. But a lot of people are leaning more on the emotional side. I would say Rollo is very much in that category, which is why he gets triggered like literally all the freaking time, right? If he was purely empiricism, then he would not be getting triggered, getting worked up over like basically, I guess, close to nothing.
She wants to tell you how to feel about things. You should not listen to this guy. He's a very bad man. This is the chick. This is the chick who knows nothing about my work. Nothing about my 20 years doing this shit. Absolutely zip. But yet she's the one who wants to say, oh, he should go. I'm going to put him out of business. Okay, you guys can go and take that up with her.
Doesn't really generalize super well, particularly if you look at the demographics. If you look at the demographics that you get,
I think he dislikes you more than he dislikes me.
I think it's because I basically said like, yeah, I'd like to see, I'd like to have a hand in ending his career, and that doesn't mean mass reporting, by the way. I would never participate, disavow. It means I would like to prove to everyone that he is a washed-up old man who's been LARPing about being scientifically informed for the last like 7 years, and that nobody should bother listening to him anymore. That's what I would like to do, and steal and devour his viewers. Okay, that's what I would like to do.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for that cause.
collect, and it's super different than like the average demographics of like men today. That would be a really big issue.
Pumpkin, go ask Big Mo for the.
You're back to Pumpkin. You went from Pumpkin to bitch, and now you're back to Pumpkin. His two nicknames. He's not even going to refer to you by his name. He's not going to say like, okay, so what do you think about Kyla? Oh, you mean Pumpkin? Oh, you mean that bitch?
Demographics from Fresh and Fit, and see if you don't change your mind. See?
Yeah, because Fresh and Fit is going to just like willy-nilly give out their quote-unquote demographics to people they don't like. I'm sure that's exactly what they're going to do. Let me just text Myron. It would actually be kind of funny, although I don't know if I really want to do this, to text Myron and be like, Myron, can I get these demographics? Rollo was telling me that I can get demographics from you guys. I can get the data from you. You think there's even a 0.01% chance that they will say yes?
If you're see,
Maybe. I'd be super curious. I'd be down to look at their data. I'd be super curious to like.
I'm just curious if they would actually give the data. I mean, I'll do it if the chat wants me to do it. I don't give a shit. I'll reach out to him and see. He's gonna say he's not gonna do it. He's probably either gonna go on a side tangent of how I betrayed him like 3 years ago, or just ignore it.
Fear bias comes into play after you see those stats.
Right. So like if everyone who watches you has like a significantly lower body count than pretty much everyone else, now we know, okay, well, these are your studies, but it probably only would generalize to other communities that have like already difficulties.
Okay, let's push this up. So she's 100% patently wrong about the demographic studies, at least from Fresh and Fit. If anything, Fresh and Fit keep more accurate demographic statistics than anyone else in this fucking business.
Yes, Fresh and Fit is the pinnacle of academic excellence. They're everyone knows that when you want reliable statistics, you go to Fresh and Fit.
Yeah, about who women are and what they feel. True.
This is the best place for academic literature. This is where David Buss actually gets his work from. It's from Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
High value man. What do you call it?
I don't know what to say because you and I are going to end up circle jerking about a lot of this stuff. Like, yes, agreed. But I would love to see Rollo's career over. That would be great. That would be good for the world. I think he does like immeasurable harm to the young men by lying to them all the time about women.
Oh, he's getting worked up.
What am I lying about? Where am I wrong? Where have I damaged anybody?
Well, Rollo, unfortunately, you skipped the part where I outlined 15 points that you're wrong about, so we can't really get to that. What do you disagree with me on? I literally outlined 15 things. He just skips that and just says, what am I wrong about? You can't make this shit up.
When have you read a fucking thing I've said? What book
I
have you
actually
read?
read a fair bit of his book. I didn't read all of his book because it's like, I think his book is just his blog put into a book format. So it's like it's not a great read. It's not like a super good writer, but I have read a number of sections. Have I read through his whole book? No. It tends to be like pretty circular though. So yeah, I've read major swaths of his book, his first book, I should say.
He still has never like actually acknowledged like the points I made, like why they're wrong. He's never done that. He either does one of two things. He says, what are the disagreements? Like, what do you disagree with me on? And like, I just keep giving him disagreements. Or he just says you're straw manning me without explaining why. He never actually like breaks down the points that I make. I don't know. I mean, obviously I know why, but I think his chat doesn't know why.
Yes, if you listen to. This is all fucking on you. Like that's a very bold claim. Very bold statement. Where am I wrong? Why do you feel that way?
We literally, Rollo, I have multiple videos explaining this to you. Just watch those videos and you will know. What do you think are some of his biggest lies? I think his chat should hold him accountable for that part at least. Like, dude, like, okay, fine. Like, even if you agree with Rollo a lot more than you agree with me, that's totally fine. But like, he keeps doing this weird deflection where he says, what am I wrong about? What do you disagree about? Like, I've done videos on this. I've done watchers on this.
Things. This whole thing, you listed 15 things. We talk at length about dual mating hypothesis. That's like the main thing that we've talked about that he's actively listened to. I don't know.
He just refuses to acknowledge the words that come out of my mouth and just proceeds to keep saying, what am I wrong about?
There's not a single good woman.
That's why I like a debate, because he can't really do that in a debate. He says, what am I wrong about? I give him. He can't just like change the topic. It's like, okay, dude, like, well, no, you're not addressing the question, right? So yeah, that's what I like about debate is he wouldn't actually be able to do that in a debate.
There's like a pretty big one.
When have I said that? Give me a fucking link, you dumb cunt.
It's a little too fulfilling for men.
Oh damn! You went back from pumpkin to down to dumb cunt now.
That's true. I think if you've got a whole bunch of young men that have understandable negative sentiment towards women, I think being told, and don't worry, there's no good women out there, is like probably the worst thing that you could tell these people.
There's no such thing as a quality woman, you dumb bitch.
Back to dumb bitch.
Pumpkin. I didn't say there's no good women. I said there's no quality women. Okay. I'm sorry. How are these different to you specifically? What? I love that. I love when people be like, "You're straw manning me," and then they just say what I'm saying they're saying immediately afterwards.
Pumpkin, dumb bitch. Pumpkin, cunt.
Pumpkin.
Back to bitch.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. I like pumpkin. Okay.
That's the whole thing. It's an idealization. I know that's really hard to fucking grasp. It's like building this character of a woman that you hope is going to actually fulfill that fucking character. If anything, I'm doing you the favor.
Well, thank you, Rollo. You've done me a lot of favors, which has provided me a lot of content I can meme on.
You have no idea what you're talking, zero idea what you're talking about. And this is going to be the class of people who are going to be involved in the culture war very, very soon. She's already.
Notice how he actually doesn't address the point, which the argument, he goes on a weird semantics thing. It's like, oh, it's not, there's no, what did he say? It's like, there's no quality. I didn't say there's no quality in women. I didn't say that there's no good women. I said there's no quality in women, right? Which basically means the same shit, right?
It's the same shit. He's trying to be like, I'm not saying all women are immoral. It's like, when I'm saying bad women, I'm clearly not meaning that there's just, that I think Rollo thinks there's just tons of women running around doing immoral things at all times. Clearly what I'm saying is there ain't no good woman. There's nobody worth wifing up out there. That's obviously what you're implying.
Yeah, and then he doesn't address the point, which is like, okay, you are wrong when you say there's no quality woman. Obviously, there's quality women. Like you would say that your wife is probably a quality woman. I would say my girlfriend's a quality woman, right? But like he doesn't address that point. He just goes on a side tangent about culture war, which is like nothing to do with anything. Which is again why I think that like he likes to do these like debates from the comfort of his home, right, without actually having to debate the person, because then he can just do the shit. But like if you're actually debating the dude, he can't really do that, right? Because then you just repeat the question. You're like, all right, dude, you didn't answer my question.
Any involvement in culture war. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Seriously.
Actually, because it's not true.
None of that is actually addressing the point about the quality woman, no quality woman. None of that. None of what he said actually addresses the point.
I hate even the way that he characterizes men.
Sorry, what were you saying? Oh, that was on the video?
In a lot of ways, the way that like this like unique subsection of the red pill characterizes men, which is
victims.
It's victims and stupid monkeys that cannot separate themselves from their dick. And it's just like, and also have no sense of morality.
So where have I said any of that? Do you even know that I wrote an entire book, a fucking 300 some odd page book on religion that I took 3 years to fucking put
Yes, Rollo, we know about your books.
Put together? No, you don't. Have you read it? Do you understand anything that I've been saying about it?
It seems like Rollo's best to be strategy saying, have you read my book? I bet you didn't read my book, bro.
You don't understand me. You don't understand me.
I misunderstood. Okay. When I say there's no quality woman, what I really mean is that you're a cunt and you're a pumpkin. So that's a misunderstanding.
How these guys, these academics, and you want to talk about how valid fucking Dr. David Buss is and stuff like that. Have you even familiarized yourself with his work, let alone my work? Or is this just fucking shit and diarrhea just flowing out of your fucking mouth?
Just like, well, cheating's less for men because they care about it less. And it's like, all you're making an argument for is why basically men have less moral standards than women.
Okay, so now we're going to tell you how you should feel. I don't tell you how you ought to feel about it.
What?
That's the sin. Because I.
What you said?
You can keep playing it. I'm just reacting. Go ahead.
Okay.
Don't speak the language of emotionalism. That's the sin. That's 3147. I had to do this. I had to watch this, and now you do too. 30. There we go. That'll work.
We'll get shamed. Like
Not
generally
really.
speaking.
I don't think so. I actually think men get shamed for their standards a lot more than women do.
They get shamed more, but women still get shamed for our
I don't know. Like at least in my, maybe I'm just in like a uniquely
I love when they disagree with each other.
toxic feminine circle, but I don't think I am. I feel like when I grew up, I was always like
Spurg versus Spurg.
Because we would do the games of like, what do you want your partner to look like and what are the standards? And girls would have like these
Says the Spurgest person on YouTube.
insane standards. And I would be like, that's pretty stupid.
Oh, sorry. It was in the video. I keep getting
Kind of like a Fresh and Fit, whatever podcast, Pearly Things podcast.
Right. I'm listening. That's probably not a helpful thing. And there's like this weird thing of like, girl, like you have to yes nanas. I don't know. I feel like girls saying things like 6 foot minimum is mostly socially normal. It's starting to shift. And I think that it's good that it's starting to shift. But I think a lot of girls, if you go like 6 foot minimum, most girls will be like, yeah, I feel that. Like I feel that. And it's just like, that's it. You can, but what a fucking stupid standard to have. Like,
yeah, but unfortunately that Dr. David Buss, the guy that you keep hammering on about, was actually the first dude to call out height as a universal attraction cue for women across the planet. And as far back, like you got to remember, if I have a beef, if I have a disagreement, if I have a qualification, let's just say with Dr. David Buss, especially when Mike Sartain starts talking about like, oh, you need
Yeah, that's what I want to say. He has a disagreement with what's it called, David Buss.
to read the.
Also, isn't in his findings at all. Michael Sartain quotes the study wrong all the time, where he says that height is the preference. The only finding in that study is that women tend to have partners who are taller and bigger than them. No shit. Yes, men tend to be larger than women. It's not actually a preference thing at all.
Wait, you don't think height is a preference for women?
So I do, but in the study about Buss never outlines it as a preference. All they find, it's not actually ranked at all in the.
Oh, you're just talking about the study. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, yeah. So he's just misquoted. This is just not on the study.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Evolution of Desire. Yeah, you do. It's a good book. Understood.
Well, I think he relies on the assumption that 99.9% of people watching his shit will not actually read the study, right?
Published in 1994. Using 1994 technology, or actually pre-1994. In fact, there's a great. I really got to bring this up. I downloaded it because somebody turned me onto this. It's an AI program called the Riz, and I know what Riz means. But it's an AI program that helps you respond, gives you possible responses that will improve your chances or increase your chances of like getting with a chick that's like on Tinder or on your text or whatever else. And apparently, it's fairly accurate. It's fairly.
I tested it on Dr. David Buss, and he's replying to my emails now. It was a very good. I ran some really good Riz on Dr. David Buss, and it's working.
And I'm positive for the guys. But the very fact that we would need the Riz,
okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead.
Her own perceived sexual market value is. Okay, so this is classes in session now. You wanted some meat and potatoes? Here's your meat and potatoes. Okay,
there we go.
So it's the equal pairing it's a subjective stat because you remember we're already talking about how women have overinflated egos, or overinflated sense of their own attractiveness. Okay? When 80% of men are loosely agreed to be below average in attractiveness to women, we must consider that this assessment is measured in relation to what women's hypergamous doubt might be optimized with in a man. What that means is he the best I can do based on what I think of myself? So it's not.
Okay, this is boring as fuck. Let me skip ahead. See if it gets juicy.
Is attracted only to people who are more attractive than I am. Women. Oh, that's the height differences. I know it wasn't before that. Hang on. Let's presume. Here's what he's really talking about. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Show me where. Link me. Show me where I've said any of this shit.
Right, let's go back here.
That's essential. Like the reason why she doesn't fucking understand the red pill, or she wants me to go out of business, is because she's a blank slate, or she's a blank slate equalist. All of these guys are. Well, Alex is just an idiot. He just doesn't. Everything comes out of his mouth as straw man. He even admits as much in the beginning. He doesn't want to talk about how I'm wrong about things. He just wants to say I'm a very bad person.
He accuses me of straw manning as he straw mans me. My man, I literally outlined 15 things I disagree with you on that you're wrong about. You just skip all of those and then you just say it doesn't exist. This is like Rollo's been doing this. At one point, I thought he was just like trolling, but I actually don't think he's trolling because like every time I challenge him to a debate or the topic would come up, he would always, or typically it was like other people would bring it up. He would say, "Well, debate about what?" And then I'll respond by giving him like 5 or 6 different things, and then he would just like disappear. And then like 6 months later, he would do the same thing, debate about what? And so he's like doing it right here. He's like, "Oh, what do you disagree with me on?" My man, you literally skipped the part of the video where I outlined 15 things I disagree with you on.
Okay. Have fun. I'm not going to fucking come on your show and do that. Like, if I want abuse, I can walk out the door and get abuse.
He's talking about how we like misunderstand him and we don't know what his viewpoints is. I don't think either you or I are blank slatists at all. Like,
I don't even know what the fuck a blank slatist is.
You believe that men and women are no different in any way biologically, and it's all kind of socially created, and like at birth, essentially, they're kind of like blank slates that culture gets imposed onto. That's a blank.
Well, that's super dumb. Yeah, obviously, I don't believe that. I mean, I think I've been pretty clear about that. We got more straw mans from Rollo.
It's never how you're wrong. How am I wrong, baby? How am I wrong, Alex?
Okay, I'm happy that you're a baby. I'm not baby. That would have been a little weird.
How am I wrong, erudite?
Watch the part of the video where I talk about how you're wrong.
How am I wrong? Everything that has come out of both of these sons of... Sorry. God damn it, man. That's what I get for getting animated here. Hang on. See how I did this? This is so bad. Sorry.
No emotion, pure empiricism.
My bad. There we go. We got it back. All right, we got it back. It's the new mic. My bad. You got me monologuing. Everything that's come out of these guys' mouths has been nothing but straw man arguments. Well, let's presume. Here's what he's really talking about. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Show me where. Link me. Show me where I've said any of this shit. Right? I explained to you the full fucking Anthony Johnson thing, but that has nothing to do with my work. That's absolutely nothing to do with my work.
Yes, that was the first thing. You skipped the other 14.
Nothing to do with.
How's this like? I don't know. Is there anyone? I'm just confused. Is there like his fans to whom it's not like super obvious what he's doing? That he's just like
1,200 people watching him. I mean, obviously there's probably like some hate watchers and like maybe some TGG and stuff, but like, yeah, his chat was resoundingly like being like, oh my gosh, true based, yes, just telling the truth, preaching it, man. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know. This to me is like super duper obvious. I mean, like, come on, like.
With the 5 different books I've already written, you just simply don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That like Rollo's paradigm causes us to lose empathy.
That we would in no way ever want to endorse. That we would go to, we'd probably give our lives for, to resist. But we're intelligent people, and we can say, you know what? Why do these guys? This sounds like the most evil thing I've ever heard in my life. Why do? Well, I continue. No, he thinks it's a big conspiracy. I don't trade. They have to go and maybe they follow what Richard Reeves is saying. They're going to go get into some feminine, they go get into teaching or get into nursing or get into whatever the caring, careers are. Are you going to want to fuck them? No. Are you going to want to have a relationship with them and get married with them and have babies with them? No. You know why? Because they're never going to make the kind of money you make on OnlyFans showing your asshole. That's why. It's not because men aren't living up, and they're not, but that's not the reason. The reason is women are the average women don't want to get with average men. Would you like to debate that? We could start this gynocentric social order discussion right there. We can talk about selective services. Want to start there? Let's see. Where else can we go? Oh, how about women in finance? How about who controls the purse strings? How about we go and get into?
Yes, we understand that men are in more positions of power than women.
Some of the topics we were talking about yesterday on Rule Zero on Cappy's show. Would you like me to get into 91% of all household decisions about a family are made by a woman? Purchasing power. It's not who's earning the money. It's who.
Oh, is he actually saying that women are in charge? Is that the claim that he's actually he's actually
I don't
saying?
know if he doesn't talk about the specifics because it gets like cringe. Because at one point I'm texting here and I bring up like sports, for example. If he basically believes that everything is gynocentric, that like feminism has won out and there's like no masculine spaces left. And then when I put out things like sports, which is like a pretty hyper masculine space, he's like, yeah, well they wear pink in October, so. And I was like, okay, yep, that is true. They're all feminized now. All football players, all boxers, all of them.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Malik, my chat is telling me that you're talking shit about the show on your string. What's the deal with that?
If insulting Rollo's face and making fun of his glasses is talking shit about your show, then I guess so.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't really believe most of the shit talkers on my chat anyway. We will put Detective Rollo on the case. He will investigate. Okay, let's keep going.
Who's allotting those funds? Who's in control of the IMF? Who's in control of the ECB?
Okay, women are like.
I'm not saying policy.
These two are part of the problem.
Oh, there we go.
I hate to go conspiracy on them, but they're part of the problem. Like, how many times do you have to watch like a bad Netflix movie or bad Disney? Like, go watch The Little Mermaid, right? It's like it's getting panned because it's one of the most awful shows there ever. Go look at, and it's a remake on top of that. Go look at any Netflix series and look at the empowered, strong, independent woman character in every fucking series. I've done those shows with the Savo brothers. I've done those shows before, talking about how Hollywood doesn't know how to write male characters anymore. Gotta read it. We talked about this all the time. Where were you? How come you weren't in a conversation? If you had a problem with it, maybe that was the time to start talking about it. No, of course not.
I'm talking. Well, even policy is like women
The fuck is he talking about?
empowerment. Even in the corporate world and that kind of thing. It's like.
And quite honestly, the mark started back in 1849 in Seneca Falls.
And it's 1849
for the rise in divorces, courtesy of the pill. And now we've got to get more women into the workhouse. Now we've got to get more women because
it's just a boring side tangent. My capacity to follow along with Rollo is limited. He went on fucking three hours. Rollo, just come on into baby. Like let's just have a discussion. It's gonna be so much easier. I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna react to this and he's gonna skip everything I've said and then go on a tangent about Anthony Johnson, how I strawman him. Let's just do a debate. Okay, let's go to the tweets because I think this is interesting. I just get super bored of this. Okay, this is pretty funny. So this starts with that chick from the
Angela Knight. Yep.
Yeah. So she says, if you want to debate about said being keyboard warrior like your friend MLD, let me know, old man. And he says, sorry, I make it policy never debate convicted felons. Okay, and then I love this part. True, you only associate and collab with convicted felons, right? People who live in glass house shouldn't throw stones. And here he's talking about Donovan Tribe, which is a career criminal.
Yeah.
I don't debate Donovan either. Yeah, like I said, you associate and collab with him. Didn't you endorse this Womanese product too? I remember watching your live stream. You had a coupon if anyone wanted to buy Womanese. Can you name me the last time I had him on my show? I'll wait. And then this guy says, wait. Well, one person said, "Dude, didn't you just speak at the same convention as him? Like literally like half a year ago." So he's like talking about like, "Oh, I don't debate." So you only associate, you don't debate people who are felons. Okay, just another interesting contradiction that he got caught in.
Damn.
What did I defend him on? Still waiting check from Womanese Coupon, John Doe. You guys aren't very creative liars. I award no points. You guys aren't creative. Dude, how the fuck are we gonna know about your checks? Okay. Okay, what is there anything? Someone said he was literally on stream with Donovan 2 days ago.
No fucking way. Is that true?
We'll
definitely need to verify that.
Let me fact check that. I'm gonna go on Donovan's channel right now. Donovan Sharp. Let's see. Let's see. I have to look at live streams. I don't see it personally, but maybe it was somewhere else. I don't know if he has like a second channel or something like that. But yeah, let me know in the chat, guys, if that is actually true. But yeah, that's funny. Okay, should we move on to? Is there anything more you want to say about the Rollo thing before we move on to Fresh and Fit?
No. I'll see you in October. Unless he wants to fly me out like a Dubai girl, okay? Then I'll be there soon.
Yeah, Rollo, listen, I'm down to come on your show. If you come on my show first, always just do a neutral platform with a neutral moderator. I think that's probably the best way to go. Okay. Let's move on to this. Okay. This is going to be a lot quicker, and this is going to be a lot more entertaining.
I have a problem with fucking you. Don't pawn it off to fucking Priest like you've been doing. You're a fucking bitch. I have an issue with you. I'd love to talk to you. And hey, if it comes fisticuffs, that's fine. But you need to be held accountable for all the shit you've been talking, bro. You've been hiding behind a fucking camera, talking shit, being a fucking snake for
hiding behind a camera. He's a YouTuber, man. They make YouTube videos. What does that even mean?
years. I'm calling your dumb ass out. Don't pawn it off on fucking Preach. You're a fucking bitch and you know it. You would never say the shit that you've been saying in my fucking face. You would not.
Abba, come here.
That's actually not true. When Abba was on their podcast, he did call them out for saying he's blue pilled, and well, you'll see that in this. There's the reaction video Abba did is pretty good.
We'll have security. Come sit.
Go
here.
make a fucking
come sit here.
Clip this too. Woo,
Abba, Abba, come sit here and have a conversation live with him and try and hold contact, bitch.
I promise I won't hit you. I promise I
He's
won't.
been on their show. Wait,
What?
what? Abba's been on their show before.
Yeah, I know. That's
So
the weird part.
I don't promise shit. I'm not with FreshandFit. I don't promise shit. I got my own brand.
I just want to know why you would have a great conversation. It's all great. And then you decide, let me go ahead and talk shit about this guy that opened his home to me. The reason why I flipped out the way that I did is because I take loyalty extremely seriously. I think you guys have known me now for
That is one thing I actually think is very much true. I do think Myron, in his own way, takes loyalty very seriously. I think he's delusional about what loyalty really is, but I do think in his own way, he definitely does take loyalty seriously.
well over 2 years. The reason why I flipped out is because I hate snakes. I fucking hate them, and there's nothing you can say or do that will justify why the fuck you behaved the way that you did. So I'm calling you out. Don't pawn this off on your fucking retard partner or anybody else. I have an issue with Abba fucking Atlas, whatever the fuck your last name is. You are a snake, and you fucking know it.
Why is he so triggered? I don't even understand.
And don't expect him to understand loyalty. This man has got a fucking long-term partner, wife, whatever the fuck, and he's grabbing Destiny's wife, and she's like, "Let go of me," and he's like, "Nah, I'm blue pill. I get the grab." Fucking creepiest clip I've ever seen in my life.
Oh Jesus
Oh my
Christ!
gosh, the way people whinge out over Abba, who's a trained dancer, dancing with Mel is so cringe. Do they get nervous on like the wedding day when the father-daughter dance happens? Are they like worried that like her dad is about to like cuck the new like husband? Like, do they just think anytime a male like touches a woman, it's massive risk for her immediately falling onto his dick?
Yeah, I have no fucking idea. It's like a 20-second clip of them like doing classical dancing, which is like not the same thing as like grinding or whatever. I don't really see what the fuss is about. Honestly, it seems like kind of like a non-issue to me.
Lies, I'm tired of this
Where
shit.
the fuck were the SJWs for that clip, right?
Well, she wasn't saying though that he to get off me. I didn't see any of that in the clip. I don't know what he's talking about.
Where's my hug guy? And, bro, if a red pill dude did that fucking salsa dance shit, we'd be canceled for R.
I'm gonna say one thing.
This is fucking. No one's gonna get canceled for grape for dancing with a girl. What?
You can say that word here?
Nah, well, let's try to avoid it.
You're a creep. You're a fucking creep, Abba.
Snake, dancing with your wife, with your buddy's wife on stream, talking shit, calling me a rapist without any real evidence, talking all the shit that you've been talking, taking conversations out of fucking text, not addressing when you were fucking wrong, when you were saying all these allegations about me. I have a problem with you. Don't pawn this off on nobody else. With fucking you.
Abba, all you do is gay narrative switching. I asked a simple question. I didn't even know them back then.
I want to get back to the
Wait, he's pushing preach into it, and you've never.
Yeah. But to me, it's like, for example, once a snake, always a snake. And listen, we didn't know it first, but now we know.
And here's the thing: they've made 20 fucking plus videos talking shit about us. They talk shit about our friends.
Both of them
they've been
talk
talking
shit?
shit about Andrew. They've been talking shit about John. They've been talking shit about Donovan. They've been talking shit about Rollo. Talking shit about fucking everybody. Dude, you guys have been talking shit.
Well, it's because you associate with dipshits
for far too fucking long. I have a problem with Abba. I'd love to have a conversation with you. You want to have it in person? Fine. I'd be great. It'd be great. I just want to ask you, why the fuck are you a snake? And why has nobody called you out for all these fucking years? You have zero integrity. For a guy that says, we're standing on integrity and principle. You have no fucking integrity. You're a snake, and you will do and say anything for AdSense revenue. Go ahead and clip this up, put it on your dumbass channel so more people can find out who the fuck FreshandFit is. Come over to us because we actually get value.
Thank you.
Stupid fucks. We lost 50K, and then we went ahead. Now we're at 1.4.
And it's funny, a lot of
the guy is proud.
Well, that's basically the premise of it. He just goes on like a little spurg sesh.
And they come over here to like hate. They like to.
We don't just give us dumbass reactions and not actually give some value to
right now?
What?
I think Abba and Preacher are about to break 2 mil right now. They're at like 1.99 or something.
Yeah. Well, I think initially when Abba went on FreshandFit was like 30, 40, 50K. So they were like, if anything, like Abba was doing them a favor, not the other way around, right? Like now it's much more comparable. But how long ago was this? This was like a few days ago, apparently, because Zerka's there and he's only traveled to Miami very recently. So yeah, it has to be like in the last week. Okay, so let's go to it basically just continues like that, more spurging. And let's go to Abba and Preach's reaction, which I kind of liked. Okay, let me find this. Okay, here it is.
A problem with me, I have a problem with you. I have a problem with you.
About that, why do you think I might be blue pilled?
Well, from what I remember, I'm trying to remember. I would say blue, like, I'm trying to think like which video was.
I also find it funny. He came with the smoke.
MLG, you thought it was just violence against women? Oh no, it gets worse.
I have a problem with fucking you.
What the fuck was that photo?
Are these callouts so goddamn gay? He's got a problem with me. Like, nigga, we never. What is this? This is so bizarre. Nah, bro, you heard that out of his own mouth.
I know.
Red Pill do stay saying the gay shit. You never noticed that?
Yeah, you just
That is actually kind of true.
didn't put the comma at the right place. The comma.
Hey, bro, you need to
You didn't put the comma at the right place.
FreshandFit, Blue Abba and Preach.
Whoa! Wait, what is happening?
Wait a minute.
Hey, masculinity look different.
I haven't met these people in real life. Calm down. That cannot happen. It's just like hip hop. It's just hip hop. Hip hop stay being the most homophobic thing, one of the most homophobic things, right? But the talk of hip hop is really weird. Yo, man, I fuck with you heavy.
I'm about to get these niggas wet.
Yeah. You even get these niggas wet.
I'm about to blow these niggas away.
That's kind of true. That's funny.
Yo, FreshandFit, Blue Andrew Tate. FreshandFit, Blue Jay Waller.
FreshandFit, Blue.
FreshandFit. Men after men. I'm telling you, the people that come inside of FreshandFit.
That is such savage editing. Oh my gosh.
You can't make this shit up. This is so goddamn sus. Like, what the fuck am I listening to?
Here's the thing, bro. I have a problem with fucking you. Don't pawn it off to fucking Preach like you've been doing. You're a fucking bitch. I have an issue with you. I'd love to talk to you. And hey, if it comes fisticuffs, that's fine.
I just don't understand. Why now?
True.
Why now?
True.
Like, all of a sudden.
What were you saying?
It's just, so these two have been beefing for almost a year now. When they went on, they came back, they criticized FreshandFit for some like cringe shit that they did. And then FreshandFit started DMCA striking them like crazy and trying to like copyright strike them and abusing it. They lost all of it, and threatened them to like ask them to come box them. And Preach was like, "Sure, I'll come fucking mob both of you, no problem." And then they just like dropped it for like a year.
The order's a little bit flipped. So they initially, okay, so the way it went down is yes, Abba went on Fresh and Fit. It wasn't even a preach, it was just Abba. A few months later, they called out some shit they said, right? Nothing personal. Then Fresh and Fit went on like a crazy monologue. They attacked Preach's wife. They said, yo, I'm gonna box you. Preach said, okay, sure, let's do it. And then Fresh and Fit said, oh, actually, no, we don't want any more drama. They completely ghosted. Actually, Abba and Preach showed the DMs of like Preach trying to set up the fight and like Fresh just ignoring it. So yeah, so they're just like, this is like a year and a half later, they're coming back. Oh, let's actually fight. It's like, okay, the dude wanted to box you like a year and a half ago.
We went back and like we wanted answers from you. You never replied.
And I think both done it too. If we really want to talk about that, you guys want to fucking box? I'll box both you motherfuckers too. Fuck out of here, man.
But all of a sudden, it's like pawn it off. Bro, if anybody made this problem happen, that was you when you was talking crazy about somebody else's significant other.
He's saying,
Yeah.
That's you.
Hey, and Preach, I guarantee your wife is
back to that.
Bro, if anybody made this problem happen,
Y'all N-word, we gotta set up promoters or date for tickets. What day can you both come up? Preach fighting both of us makes no sense. Of you all talk. Okay,
that was you.
Why do you need promoters? Venue? What the fuck?
When you was talking crazy about somebody else's significant other.
Yeah,
that's you.
Hey, and Preach, I guarantee your wife is probably ugly. I said it.
Yo,
you gave her a ring pop and you licked her at your fucking wedding.
We should fly her up, bro.
Weirdo. Hey, yo,
we should fly her up.
Guarantee her flew out. You may guess the bride. This dumbass nigga. I love you. I love you. Yeah. You making them dumbass face?
No,
the girls look so bored.
We're gonna take one bitch and the other bitch. You guys are two bitches, twin sisters. That's your new name. Not Fresh and Fit, twin sisters. Let's go.
A year later, now you want to bring up fight again? Why didn't you guys take up the fight that you guys suggested when you was talking shit about his girl?
Issue with you. I'd love to talk to you. And hey, if it comes to fisticuffs, that's fine. But you need to be held accountable for all the shit you've been talking, bro. You've been hiding behind a fucking camera, talking shit, being a fucking snake for.
I love how he says this behind the camera. So your job is podcasting, bro. You're not some street baller. You're an ex-federal agent. Podcast talking to whores every day. You live behind the camera. Let us carry on.
Come on, Abba, don't slut shame.
For years, I'm calling your dumb ass out. Don't point it off fucking Preach. You're a fucking bitch and you know it. You would never say the shit that you've been saying in my fucking face. You would not.
Yes, I did say it to your face. You get so emotional. It's funny to watch. When I came on the pod the first time and the last time, I was like, yo, I heard you was talking shit. What was this stuff you said? And this dude started stuttering and he didn't remember what he said.
This part is so funny.
His retard friend Walter was too dumb to realize, like, oh, this is an out. So he.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember what he said.
I do love it when Myron is trying to like do some like Game of Thrones strategic thing because he realizes like at that point for them, and Walter because he's so dumb just fucks it up. Like the best one,
every time.
Dude, it's so funny. The best was when what's his name? Fresh had like a bunch of girls read his profile and they all said, you look like a scammer, you look like a fraud, right? And then he was like, oh, do Myron next. And Myron's like, no, we don't have time. We got to wrap up. And like, I feel like if Fresh was like intelligent, he'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a bad look for us. But Fresh was like, no, do Myron. And they're like arguing. Myron's like, no, we don't have time. He's like, come on, Fresh. We lost 50% of our credibility, okay? They're going to say I'm a scammer too, okay? And then we're going to lose 100%, okay? Don't do this. It's so funny watching that, like, when there's like a massive like intelligence gap between like two business partners.
Yeah.
I remember. He said this.
Specifically, you felt like we were kind of blue pilled, right?
I don't remember what show was this one?
I remember very, very well because that episode I was very careful of what I said because it gets questioned. That episode I was very careful of what I said because it gets questioned.
So I just want to ask you about that. Why do you think I might be blue pilled?
Well, from what I remember, I'm trying to remember. I would say blue. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, which video was?
It was the one.
I'm trying to.
This is a tough guy.
Remember?
I also find it funny that he came with the smoke.
I don't even hate Fresh. Fresh is nothing hateable about it. He's just when I came on there and I confronted him, he was super.
No, he's sweet. Fresh is just like a sweet, kind of dumb dude who just likes like very materialistic things, like girls, like money, cars.
Time, man. He just wants to have a good time.
Yeah, he just wants to get laid. He wants to drive a nice car. He just wants to feel like he doesn't give a shit about this like red pill shit, basically.
Passive. Well, I don't remember. And what did I say? It's like, bro, that's not you.
I just want to know why you would have a great conversation. It's all great. And then you decide, let me go ahead and talk shit about this guy that opened his home to me. The reason why I flipped out the way that I did is because I take loyalty extremely seriously.
Loyalty to what?
Stop. Open your home to me. Nigga, I came for a podcast. Why are you acting like we was baking cookies and hanging out? Is it my fault that your retard ass conducts business from your living room? Did you guys tell me you're coming into my home? Pause. Did you guys tell me that before I showed up? You said, bro, you want to show on a pod? I said, sure. I didn't know it was going to be your fucking place.
Seriously, I think you guys have known me now for well over 2 years. The reason why I flipped out is because I hate snakes. I fucking hate them, and there's nothing you can say or do that will justify why the fuck you behave the way that you did. So I'm calling you out. Don't pawn this off on your.
Yeah, this is interesting because this is basically exactly what happened with me and Myron, right? So, like, just to give the context for anyone who's not familiar. So initially, Myron was a fan of Playing with Fire. He slid in my DMs. He wanted to hang out. This is before my channel was like popular. I had like maybe 10,000 subscribers, so I was like way more open to meeting up with random people. We met up a few times. We hung out. We were not friends, okay? We were like acquaintances. You know, when I would see him at the gym, we would like say hi to each other and have like a brief discussion. And then, like in one of my videos, I made like literally like one offhand remark, which was like a joke, basically, that literally like, you know, just like something that I disagree with him on. It was something like really offhand and irrelevant. I didn't even think about it. And then he like just I guess flipped out over that. He's like, bro, I thought your loyalty, man. Come on. Like, so he, in his mind, he sees like me as the same way as Abba's like, I betrayed him. Like, no, dude, like I just disagree with something you said. I made a joke about it. Like, what the fuck? Like, it just, I guess in his mind, it's like you can never disagree with your friends. You can never make jokes with your friends. Like, it just seems like kind of a really weird worldview. Or a really boring worldview. Like, I don't know, when me and my friends hang out, we just always like make fun of each other and we always like debate and like have fun. Like, I can't imagine just like hanging out with your friends. It's just like, so yes, I agree with you, sir, but it's just, I don't know, just totally different than how I like, I guess, conduct my friendships or relationships.
Your fucking retard partner or anybody.
Where are you at with that, Kyler? Like, I'm sure I already know what the answer is, but like, where, like, don't you think it's like fucking cringe that like loyalty means you can never disagree with your friends?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the rule, if that's like the line of loyalty, then I don't do relationships where disagreement isn't allowed. Basically, that would be like a pretty hard no for me. I'm good.
Yeah, basically same thing.
It'll be your business.
I have an issue with Abba fucking Atlas, whatever the fuck your last name is. You are a snake, and you fucking know it.
Look at the veins popping out of this man's head. Mind you guys, the man who's calling.
Dude, they're so funny. Yeah, Abba's, I think, used to do stand-up comedy. You can tell, like, dude's funny. Dude's funny as fuck.
Both dancers, yeah.
He's a funny ass dude.
Like a betrayer. You know how many times we've met and spoken? Once. I have never spoken to this man or seen him again since that one time. And this man's talking about betrayal.
Well, you try to speak to him.
Like, I got ex-girlfriends who I disappeared on, okay, who don't sound this intense when we see each other again. I met this dude once. This has got to be one of the gayest things I've ever seen. This is Brokeback Mountain for the red pill. What is happening? Why are you talking about betrayal like this?
Like you cheated on him.
Maybe it's because we're both East African. He thought we were going to be like butt pals or some shit, bro. I don't know you. I don't like you like that. It never fails. These are the alpha male leaders, the red pill guys who are supposed to guide young men. And then you look at them and look how bitch made and how angry and emotional they sound. Oh, no, it's not emotion. It's passion. Yeah, we're not being neurotic. These veins bulging out, this anger that I feel for somebody that I've met one time and I feel betrayed by.
Is the passion pumping in my veins?
Bro, you sound fucking crazy. This is so much energy for somebody you met one time. And it's not like we met for dinner.
Crazy.
It's not like we had lunch.
Dude, this is insane.
It's not like we hung out before or after.
You didn't have those.
I showed up for the podcast appearance and then I left. Bro, if I knew every podcaster was going to act this entitled and this attached after one simple appearance, I would never go on a podcast again.
True.
I got to be careful now which pod I show up because apparently when you leave and you're.
Then because like we went out for supper after the show, so like unironically, I have like a closer relationship to Myron than Abba does. Then if what Abba's saying is all true.
Yeah,
like ridiculous. Why would you ever have an expectation?
Yeah, it would be the same thing here, I guess.
You're not a fan of the pod? Imagine you guys going for a job.
Dude, the funny thing about Myron though, he holds on to a grudge like no one else. Like the story I've told a lot. It's like really funny. So this was again before FreshandFit started, like when he was just like doing fitness shit. He was like in one of my streams. I had this like fitness guy on. He was just bickering with him. Oh my god, this guy doesn't know anything about fitness. This is the worst fitness advice ever. And one of my moderators didn't know that like I was like acquaintances with Myron, and he was like, "Hey man, like either stop talking shit or we're gonna kick you out." And then Myron, like after the stream was over, calls me, or I don't remember if he called me or texted me. He's like, "Bro, like what the fuck is up with your boy?" I was like, "Oh yeah, he didn't know we were acquaintances, but yeah, he just felt like you were disrupting the stream." And I thought that would be the end of it. Every time I would run into him for the next 2 years, he would bring it up. I'll be like, "Yo, what's up, Myron? How you doing, man?" He's like, "Yeah, man. So what's going on with your boy?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" That moderator that was talking shit. You mean that thing that happened a year and a half ago where he told you not to spam my chat?
Yeah.
He holds on to a grudge like I've never seen.
Interview. Imagine you guys going for a job interview.
You went for the other company? You disloyal.
And you know what's killing me about these guys? Their definition of loyalty is a funny one to me.
Oh yeah.
Their definition of loyalty is just blind allegiance. Doesn't matter what I say or what I do. If If you're my quote unquote friend who I met once and I've never spoken to since, you should never say anything about me that I do bad. That's not my definition of loyalty or friendship. The friends in my life are people who I think are morally correct, who I think are good people. That's right.
Yeah, same here.
If I come to find out that you're engaging in criminal activity, scamming other people, there's no way I would associate you. I don't care. I'm not loyal to a fault. I'm not loyal to the point where the person
I would say that like I'm somewhere in the middle. I do think I'm somewhat loyal to a fault, and I do think that like I tend to sometimes overlook things that my friends do to some degree. I do think I'm getting better at that though. But also I think a lot of things that people don't know is that like when it comes to my friends, I express like with the John Anthony thing, people are like, oh, why didn't you bring this up early? I did. I just did it privately, right? That's kind of with my friends. I always try to bring things up privately, but yeah, I brought it up multiple times.
consider my friend and protecting is harming other folks. That's not my definition of loyalty. I have a responsibility, not just to my friends, but also to my community, my people, and also to my own values. And when I hear you guys say things that don't align with mine, I'm going to say it. That's my idea of friendship, not yours. That's okay. Your circle involves people who grape.
We forcibly used to white girls. We used to put crack in their cigarettes.
This is a guy that was on their podcast. FreshandFit.
Oh, I told you. I told you.
They're laughing with.
Yeah, why the
LOL,
fuck?
running trade on women, mass gang rape. LOL, so funny, right, guys? Crazy.
Yeah, that's like this is just despicable, dude. Like, okay, I mean, like, I just like, dude, I make jokes about shit like this all the time, but like this dude's like not joking. He's like serious. It's like, why would you like you debate chicks all the time? Why would you not like fucking debate this dude for like fucking raping white girls? Like what? This seems to be pretty like morally fucked up. Like, I don't know. I just like I can't imagine having a dude on my podcast talking about how he's like raping girls, like, and me just being like nodding along, being like, yeah, it was a different time. Like, dude, that's really fucked up. Like, like what the fuck is wrong with you?
We used to run trains on white girls.
Robin Hood. Paul, people who scam, people who probably want violence against women, like MLD. And I suspect us covering these other people is what got him so riled up.
I agree with that.
Because not all his friends are outed for the pieces of shit, garbage people that they are. And so now he mad. MLD,
I am very happy that Abba and Preach exist.
I thought it was just fine.
They're able to roast these like frauds with comedy, which is a rare skill that not a lot of people can do. And I think they're pretty based overall. Like overall, I might disagree with a few things with them here and there, but overall, I have like a very positive opinion of those two. And I don't have a positive opinion of too many people on YouTube.
You can't divorce, and that's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive.
You got to endure. People are too.
You want to stick in a relationship.
People are just. I mean, look, people nowadays are just.
I punched a
Jesus Christ.
Latina.
That I can confirm that that's the that is the username that he uses. I know that for a fact. So I this is not fake.
Bitch in the face at Rockon.
Also, how would you kill this?
How would you? Jesus Christ! What
for being so disgusting? Personally, I think a good old fashioned bludgeoning is the way to go. Big old monkey wrench to the head, and then he posts her picture in the group chat.
Jesus
Christ! I'm gonna beat Aya for not being pretty enough. I have to beat Aya for letting this happen.
I want to deal with a normal, mentally stable, healthy woman.
I will glass a bitch with a champagne bottle with the honor of the group. I mean, like this one could be interpreted as a joke, but the other ones, I'm having a hard time seeing how those could be jokes.
Champagne bottle for the honor of the group. Oh no, it gets worse. Since I want to be petty today, why don't we just bring up one of your friends?
What the fuck is this?
Dude, just show him a garbage dipshit. Your sense of loyalty goes to. Let's see. What's this?
What's that? This bitch needs to be. Whoa.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Whoa.
Are we not done? What's this?
I look forward to the thing.
Okay, this. I don't know how you're gonna. This is not.
Latte. Holy fuck.
Jesus Christ! This is a role model for people.
Hold on. Let's. I'm just gonna put in that HTTPS / /. Hold on. I want to put this in. I'm super curious what it is that he's reacting to. Instagram.
Yeah, guys, this is MLD. Just for the few
This is
people.
MLD. He's so like anybody associated with him has to disavow him, or it is instant and aggressive ammo against them because you're a piece of shit if you don't disavow them.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, like some of these comments, you could make the case for why they're a joke, but some of them you cannot. Like, I don't see any like grape humor here. I see like actually a dude who's like thinks that this is like acceptable. I don't know. This is just like super duper fucked that this person is like something that people look up to. I mean, like I almost never like virtue signal or moralize, but like this is fucked. Like I will say it. This is fucked as fuck.
And it's literally
women
nothing. It's an Instagram post by John Romanelio with a very cute woman at Burning Man saying, one of my primary intentions this year is to call in and continue to work with strong, powerful women with an X, because he's like leftist, I'm guessing. If there's a simple why, it's this. I enjoy it more. When I was a fitness coach, approximately 7% of my clients were women with an X, as in like women, but the A is an X because it's like gendered. Anyways, I loved it. We got results, changed lives, would mostly be connected. When I expanded into business, blah, blah, blah. Like literally all the posts are just some like leftist being like, I love women.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, I don't even know what the fuck to say here. I mean, this is obviously this dude like fucking hates women, right? Which I think a lot of people, I think there's people in this community who hate women, but like saying that you want to see them raped and like fucking assaulted is like a different story.
Graped in the streets, and guys like us just walk past sipping a lot.
Your little sus ass.
Little sus ass.
Hey man, that's funny. I think sometimes people's idea of loyalty is just like they'll protect people who are abusive. They'll protect people who are harming children. They'll protect anyone apparently, because their idea of loyalty is like, I'm gonna have your back no matter what. Some people find that admirable. Me personally, I think it's irresponsible, especially when you got a platform. It's like you.
I think you gotta take the approach somewhere in the middle. I think that's the right way to go.
Co-signing somebody who's a scammer is harming your own fans. You co-signing somebody who does this kind of behavior, like it's all fun and games till somebody in your own circle, and then all of a sudden now you got an issue. But you didn't mind when that person was harming other women or women in other people's family, right? Your friendship is more important than random women being hurt. And then they're going to try to tell you, turn around and say, "Oh no, the red pill doesn't hate women. We actually protect and provide for them." And yet you also protect abusers and men who want to rape women. Makes perfect sense. Like I said, every time you peer behind the curtain for these red pill dudes, you realize that closet.
I don't know what I hate more, the red pill or the black pill. They're both. I think I dislike the black pill more because at least I think the red pill provides some type of encouragement for men, which even if it's materialistic things like make more money, go to the gym, but
like basic advice structure. Yeah.
It stink. And it ain't just other men's cum stains. They got a lot of other weird stuff in there.
Fucking shit, calling me a rapist without any real evidence, talking all the shit that you've been talking, taking conversations out of fucking text, not addressing.
Did that actually happen? Did Abba actually call Myron a rapist?
No, they defended them. They defended
them
against the H3 allegation.
Yeah, that's what I remember. They did a video where they basically said that no, like you can't call these guys a rapist. So it seems like I don't know what the fuck he's talking. I would like to see evidence of him saying that because all I've seen is the opposite.
When you were fucking wrong, when you were saying all these allegations about me, I have a problem with you. Don't pawn this off on nobody else. With fucking you pawn it off on Preach. Like, bro, I don't even fucking know that man. I don't give a shit about him. Because I met your dumbass a person. I shake your hand when I met you. I let you into my fucking house. You did that dumb shit. That's my fucking problem.
You know what kills me about this guy? He's acting like he's so cordial and cool with people. His MO is talking shit about you before you show up on the pod. Then you show up on the pod, and then after his own staff member contacted me right after I left, and these niggas was talking shit. It doesn't bother me. We're not friends, so I don't care if he talks shit after I leave. But now he's getting on this podcast acting like he's been loyal, like he's been having my back, like he's been looking out. It's like, no, this guy's been talking crack about us since the day he found out about us.
For example,
yeah, technically that's true. Fresh and Fit did start talking shit first. They didn't dedicate a whole video to it, but they were the first ones to insult Abba and Preach before the podcast even happened.
Once a snake, always a snake. And listen, we didn't know it first, but now we know.
Fresh, why the fuck are you wearing sunglasses indoors?
Here's the thing. They've made 20 fucking plus videos talking shit about us.
21 now. 21. 21. And I promise you, it's not going to end there. And there's nothing you can do about it. Try some more fake copyright strikes, brother.
You tried.
There's nothing you can do about it.
You really tried.
Yeah. And also your buddies, every single one of them who does some weird sus shit or criminal activity, we'll probably cover them too. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's okay.
It's okay.
You're going to be okay.
You're going to be all right.
They talk shit about our friends.
Both of them
They've
talk
been talking
shit?
shit about Andrew. They've been talking shit about John. They've been talking shit about Donovan. They've been talking shit about Rollo. Talk shit about fucking everybody.
Well, that's the thing. What's the definition of talking shit?
Is anything?
It's just back in my days, it was saying something that was not true.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just saying negative things.
Yeah.
At the minute we hold you accountable, it's talking shit to you.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. When you guys always want to talk about women.
What were you gonna say?
I said alpha behavior, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know.
How women deserve less. How women don't deserve anything. I mean, ain't that the name of your book? Why women deserve less? Is that you talking shit? No, that's you sharing your opinion on things.
Dude, you guys have been talking shit for far too fucking long. I have a problem with Abba. I'd love to have a conversation with you. You want to have it in person? Fine. I'd be great. It'd be great. I just want to ask you, why the fuck are you a snake? And why has nobody called you out for all these fucking years? You guys teach guys how to be more attractive and actually get women to admire, love, and respect them? No, you guys fucking don't. You don't. You don't add any value. And I'm calling y'all fucking out. Namely, Abba. I have a problem with fucking Abba. He's a snake. Tired of this shit. So talk shit about me, all my friends, 20 plus videos on us. Fuck this shit, man. At this point, you're dumb.
Myron has just been bottling up all this anger. He's just been waiting until like they get past the their initial drama with Abba and Preach to the point where they're like, they have some credibility, so he could just like let loose.
That needs to be held accountable. Say what you like to fucking.
We just need to like stop like whinging about people like talking shit. Like that's like 80% of like YouTube content in this space is like talking shit about other people. Because I'd be willing to grant that probably Abba and Preach have talk shit like in the way that they're like saying stuff that maybe isn't very true. It's just like the reality is that like, I'm sorry, if you dislike each other, you might like be wrong about some of your criticisms of each other. But I imagine that Fresh and Fit have also talked like shit about them and have like accused them or like criticized them of things that wasn't real. I don't know. I just think it's cringy.
Yeah. Also, I think disagreeing with someone is not the same thing as talking shit.
You can say on all your videos to my fucking face, bro.
He won't do it.
But you will not. You will not. And
No.
don't pawn this off on Preach's bitch ass either. I'm talking to you.
You're gonna talk about somebody's wife that you never met. Then you're gonna talk shit about, excuse yourself, and then keep on talking more, and then bring back the picture of someone that has nothing to do. And then your fans do whatever the fuck they do. They DM, the comments. I mean, you don't have a problem with me. I have a problem with you. I have a problem with you and your bitch ass, but it's fine. It's okay. When it was time to go, you shut the fuck up. Stay shutting the fuck up, Dan. You challenged, I stepped up, and your rebuttal was to do some fake DMC strikes. That's you. And you talking about integrity?
Hey, man.
You fucking whore.
Whoa.
Whore.
The last one hit
A whore. The fucking for that shit. Talking about, I stay real. Keep lying and shit. Man, get the fuck out of here. Keep doing your shit. Keep growing. Do your thing. Do you, boo boo. And nobody give a fuck.
Boo boo.
Do you? This not a. You think you handle this thing like it's a competition? You handle this thing like it's we want that pack. You said that you would lap us. That came out of your mouth. Oh, we gonna lap you? We don't care. It's not a competition. If you do good, do good.
Well, anyways, anything else?
No, that's good.
Hey!
This dude misses me and wants to get physical. Talk about, I have a problem with fucking Abba. Now there's allegations that, you know what I mean, he blew us, and folks been coming inside of them. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Damn.
Oh, I thought I don't know if this part got removed. It was a different video, but I thought that there was a part where they said that, hey, I could swear there was a part where they said, hey, listen, we'll come on your podcast if you box Preach. I could swear
I think that was before. I feel like that was before, where they asked Preach to come and like box them, and then Preach says, sure, I'll come on. I'll fight both of you. But I think that was before. But maybe this one also did. I don't know.
I could swear it happened. Maybe someone in the chat can confirm this. Did you watch I watched this video like literally like 2 hours after it came out. And you can actually edit part of the video out without having to re-upload it. And it's understandable. I do that from time to time. So yeah, if anyone watched the video like an hour or two after it came out, just let me know if that's true or not. Oh yeah, I remember that part too. Yeah, dude, it happened, man. I'm telling you. I guess I don't know. I mean, I understand the reasons for it. Oh, we lost Malik. I mean, I guess she was just getting bored with.
She commented on the side. She said she was expecting it to eat 8, and she doesn't know anything about this drama.
Oh, I told her we're gonna be doing a reaction video instead. But yeah, we'll get her on another time. No, we're cool. I mean, maybe it's not just for her. I mean, I can understand she's not really plugged into like the Manosphere shit, so this drama may seem like super petty and whatnot. Okay, yeah, it's super petty. Wait, what's this comment? Ashley, FreshandFit challenge after two boxing match, they accept freshman back down. They learned that Preach is a pro boxer. Yeah, I mean, dude, I think the whole concept of like fighting because you have disagreements is like really lame. But if you challenge someone to a fight, I feel like you should fight them. If you challenge someone to a debate, I feel like you should debate them. If you if you challenge someone to a pickup competition, like someone did to me, I feel like you should do the competition. So I feel like you should if you challenge someone and they accept, I feel like you're kind of binded to actually do, like that thing that you said that you're challenging them to. Okay, so do you have any closing thoughts before we open up the panel? We can do like maybe 20, 30 minutes of open panel before we wrap up.
No, I invited a couple of Rollo stands to come in and talk to us today, so hopefully.
Oh, epic! When are they joining?
I don't know. I just told them to come by playing with fire, so we'll see if they show
Okay.
up.
All right, guys. So, like I said, new rule: if I have any reason to doubt you, meaning like you're not a person who I've seen before, you do have to turn your camera on. I'm not taking any chances with my channel. I spent 4 or 5 years working on it, so I'm just. It's been a. Last night was a reminder of why you can't trust random people on YouTube.
True. Think true. That's why
Do you offer-
Discord's nice, because you can have mods that vet in the waiting room before they pop on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I dropped the link. We'll probably go for 20, 30 minutes, and then we'll wrap up. Did you watch the video I released today, Kyla?
I did not. What was it about?
I was asking girls what their worst dating story is. We heard some doozies.
Oh, really? That'd be super interesting. It'd be interesting to do the comparison of like do like a video where you like have 4 women share their like worst date, and then 4 men. I'd be super curious, like kind of the differences in identified issues.
Okay, everyone's asking, did you stop making shorts? No, I literally released a short yesterday. I just skipped today because I was had a lot of shit going on. What happened last night? Okay, I'll quickly explain this at the beginning. Basically, I debated this black girl named Stefan on Greg's channel. After the debate was over, he spent about 3 hours dodging my question. After that, he decided to play a porno on the channel to get the whole channel taken down. Unfortunately, we can't watch that debate because he played a porno and the whole channel is down. And once the channel goes down, you can't watch any of the streams. He initially tried to play dumb. Then when I confronted him about it, he admitted it, and now he's back to playing dumb. So I don't know. If you think that I got destroyed in that debate, then I don't know what to tell you. You're following. If you think that. Here, let me explain to you what happened. Okay, Kyle, ask me a question, like in a debate.
Sorry, you want me to ask you what? There's really loud alert at the same time that you.
Let's pretend like we're debating. What? Just give me like a question that you challenge me on.
Off the top of my head.
Just anything.
I think our biggest disagreement is on no-oriented questions.
Yeah. So the thing is, Kyle, is that Nick? I don't actually think he goes to the gym as much as you say he does. Like I think Nick's 6-pack is actually a 4-pack. So 20 minutes later. So yeah. In conclusion, down with Nick. That was the debate last night.
It's like a lot of your debates on this channel. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like 2 weeks ago you had somebody come on for like an hour, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, kick this guy," because he was just like whinging for like an hour straight.
Well, Alex, you're being delusional because entire chat thought you lost. If by entire chat you mean 3 black pillars who hate me, then sure, everyone on the panel was agreeing with me, if anything. But yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, unfortunately, we can't watch that debate. We could like watch it and we could evaluate, except for the fact that the dude I was debating decided to play a porno and get the whole channel taken down and then lie about it. So
did he like share his screen, or did he like change his camera to a porno? Like was
I don't know. I wasn't there for it.
Okay.
Oh wait, let me address this comment. It's actually a good comment. Alex, why don't you compete with Malcolm X guy? He sounded like he was coming around to filming it. If you blur his face, you do it for looks well. Yeah, I already said this. I will blur his face. That's fine. I will do it with the blurring the face. I don't actually believe he's going to do it, but yeah, I will do that.
Somebody in the chat just asked me. My question would be, so it's hard for men to have purpose today. Without a purpose, men fall into a depression and look for ways to fill the void. My question would be, how would men find meaningful purpose today without having to fall to bad coping? Any thoughts?
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
My question would be, how do men find meaningful purpose today without having to fall to bad coping?
Well, I think my answer is going to be kind of cliche, but you follow through on the things you're passionate about. So for me, I've always been passionate about animals. So I got a dog that I play with. I've been passionate about like dating type of stuff, which is why I have a dating channel. I've been passionate about having my own business. I've been passionate about travel, which is why I've traveled a lot. So you just find the stuff that you're passionate about and then you follow through on it. And if it's something that's challenging, like dating, then you keep persevering until you eventually get to a place where you're happy with. So, yeah, I don't know. That's basically would be my answer.
The boring shit, one step at a time.
Yeah, I mean, like, what would be your answer?
I don't think that purpose is the happiness solution. I think it's its own. Like, I think people need purpose and people need joy. I think they're like two kind of separate pillars. So I think a lot of men find purpose and are still like depressed and kill themselves. So I think like men need purpose for sure. But the problem is that a lot of men attach purpose to something like GDP or income related, right? A lot of men don't attach their purpose to like being an excellent father or like the contributions they make as like a volunteer fireman, because like society doesn't value these things. But separate to that is joy, and I think men are really, really bad at understanding like what does joy look like? Like how do I find joy in my life? Because I think they're actually different things.
Is there any evidence that people who make more money are happier than people who are like poor? Because I know people in third world countries are happier than people in first world countries.
Yeah, so it's up to a point, right? So you typically want to be like, it's all relative as well. So you typically want to be like middle class, more or less. And then after that, there's no impact on happiness at all.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Dude, YouTube chat is so censored I can't anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any control what YouTube does on its own end. Okay. Playing with fire. You and Kyle should debate about whether online dating is good for seeking partners for relationships. Did we do that already?
Maybe online dating is good for seeking partners for relationship. I think it's like neutral, probably.
I think it's
There's
just
like
a
a lot of
source.
obstacles.
I think it's just a source, just like cold approach, just like warm approach. It's just a source. You can meet great girls on online dating. You can meet shitty girls on online dating. You can meet shitty girls in warm approach. I mean, I do think on average you will find probably higher quality partners from warm approach than you would from dating apps. But again, there's like, there's like a million exceptions to that. Okay.
Anyone wanting to come on, or do we have an empty roster?
We have an empty roster. There's a lot of people that were just like that were really fired up when this Mandenden guy got put in timeout for 5 minutes, but I guess none of them really want to come on. Is there anyone on your end?
I don't know. I gave them the link, so if they're not coming on, then I guess they're not interested.
Yeah. Let's give it 5 minutes and then we can wrap up.
Okay. Yeah, and that's too bad. I was hoping some more like Rollo stands would come on, but they're probably gone by now.
No, don't obfuscate too much about Black Pill. Go ahead on toxic garbage. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I do think that it's absolute toxic garbage. I think it's look. Let me clarify my position. I have no problem with people like believing that looks are the only things that matter. It's just a toxic community. The beliefs themselves aren't inherently like super toxic, right? But it's kind of like the SJW community. It's just the people in that community are super duper toxic, right? So yeah, I mean, like, I think that tells you what you need to know. Hormaxers, you're also going to get banned if you keep spamming the same old shit. So yeah, I mean, don't know what to tell you. Okay, let's bring on this dude. Oh wait, sorry, new rule. I don't know you, Junior, so please turn on your camera. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I don't got good lighting, so whatever. But
okay.
Real quick, I just wanted to address the whole thing about Fresh, and when he said about Instagram, like when Myron didn't want to put up his Instagram, there was actually a video before that where he did do that. Like they rated each other Instagram and everything with the girls.
There's one, as far as I know, there's one video where the girls rated Fresh's Instagram, but I never saw them rate Myron's Instagram. If you have that video, I'd love to take a look.
All right, I have to go back through it, but yeah, I did do that, and I watched the video. They did do that, so it's like it wasn't like you're kind of saying it like, oh, okay, he's trying like, oh, I don't want them to rate my Instagram because their Instagram's bad or whatever, but they actually did do that. So like with the girls.
Can you show the video? Because the video I saw is that after they did Fresh, Myron tried to change the topic and then never did it. So if you have a different video, I'd love to take a look at it.
All right, I'll just go have someone else on. I'll look for it and then I'll come back on. Let's see how fast I can do it.
That's fine. I don't know if that. Do you think that ever actually happened? I'm having a hard time matching that. Check out a short on Destiny's Clips channel, 70K views with you in it. Okay, let's take a look. Destiny, what's his Clips channel? He has so many channels.
I think they're doing like a bit of the like a lot of people have just realized that Destiny trend, so they're like individual. Like they're not even owned by Destiny. They just make them.
Oh, I don't see anything about me in there, but if you can include a link, I will take a look at it. Chris, please turn the camera on because I do not know you. Oh, he disappeared. I think this is going to weed out like 80% of people.
Probably, yeah. Would they be able to turn their camera on backstage and then turn it off?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's fine.
Is it Bestiny? There's a lot of Bestiny clips.
Destiny. Okay, let's take a look at Destiny. Let me just type in Destiny PWF and see if anything comes up. If his editor is good, they would have tagged me into it. I do not see anything. Yeah, if you can include a link, I will react to it, bud. Yeah, I searched Destiny clips. It doesn't come up, man. I don't know what else to tell you. What do you think of Fresh and Fit assertion you have to bang 50 only for getting into a relationship? I mean, I think the general idea is okay, but the 50 is like a completely arbitrary number. Like I do think it's a good idea to get some experience with women, but at the same time, if you meet a great girl and you want to, if your primary goal is to be in a relationship and like body count number 2, you meet a great girl, like I don't see any reason why you would hold off on that until you get to like some numbers. So yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that. What do you think?
I think this is something I disagreed with Ayande really fiercely, which is like selling men the idea that they're basically going to be inadequate partners until they have like a body count. I think is like doing a lot of harm to young men, particularly because young men have like some of the least access to like women and sex. I think it just like keeps them frustrated and like down as like a narrative when it's like it's not really true at all. I don't think men need to have more physical experience. I think people just need to have similar experience, right? So like if a guy is a virgin, he's probably going to want to be with a girl with a lower body count on average, so they can kind of like grow and explore together.
Okay.
Although
Okay.
a girl with one body count might have a ton of sexual experience because if she's in a relationship for 3 years, she might have done and tried tons and tons of shit.
Do you have anyone else who wants to come on before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I think that's
Yeah,
it.
it seems like it's. Let's do a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. So quick recap. I think that we already know that Rollo's a clown, so there's really not much to discuss on that point. But hey, I'd be happy to do a debate with Rollo anytime. I don't think he's going to be able to just circumvent all my arguments in real life and change the topic. In terms of the Fresh and Fit thing, I really, really hope that this is part 2 of the saga. When Abba and Preach and Fresh and Fit were initially going at it, that was the most entertaining time to be on YouTube. It was so like I was waking up and I was like checking YouTube the first thing because I was so excited to see what the next video is. So yeah, so I guess hopefully Fresh and Fit get triggered and they respond. So yeah. All right, any closing thoughts, Kyla?
Nope, that's everything.
Cool. All right, appreciate you all. Have a good night, guys. Take it easy.
Right.